Sherry, coming Liberia, listen to the voice of Liberia. It is time to talk, bringing sense to the issue for better discussion. Seku Sherry coming to talk.
Seku Sherry say,
Liberia, listen to the voice of Liberia. It is time to talk, bringing sense to the issue for better discussion. Seku Sherry coming to talk. Liberia, listen to the voice of Liberia. It is time to talk, bringing sense to the issue for better discussion. Seku Sherry coming to
Seku Sherry say,
Liberia, listen to the voice of Liberia. It is time to talk, bringing sense to the issue for better discussion. Seku Sherry coming to talk. Liberia, listen to the voice of Liberia. It is time to talk, bringing sense to the issue for better discussion. Seku Sherry coming to talk.
Seku Sherry say,
Liberia, listen to the voice of Liberia. It is time to talk, bringing sense to the issue for better discussion. Seku Sherry coming to talk. Liberia, Seku Sherry coming to talk. Entertainment for information and education. Seku Sherry coming to talk. Liberia, Seku Sherry coming to talk. Good information, entertainment and education. Seku Sherry coming to talk.
Seku Sherry say,
From Monday to Friday, Liberia. Seku Sherry coming to talk. From Monday to Friday, Seku Sherry coming to talk. From Monday to Friday, Seku Sherry coming to talk. Seku Sherry say, Liberia, listen to the voice of Liberia. It is time to talk, bringing sense to the issue for better discussion. Seku Sherry coming to talk. Somebody, nothing fighting. Nothing fighting.
And what a pleasant way to say good morning. What a blessed way to say good morning, Liberia. Good morning, Liberians. Good morning to all of you, wherever you are joining us from this morning. We're saying good morning and also welcoming you to Good Morning Liberia. Welcome and welcome to one of the best platforms within Liberia. For those of you joining us from your very homes this morning, those of you from the marketplaces, those of you driving your commercial or private vehicles, I'm passing through this morning. I'm saying good morning to all of you, all of our Voice of Liberia followers. I'm saying good morning to you and those of the first-time listeners. I'm welcoming you this morning to the program Good Morning Liberia. Today marks the 10th of April 2025. And of course, we're here. We're here to talk the Liberian people business as usual. We have gathered to talk the issues. We always tell Liberians that we will not go back to the butchers. Rather, we're going to sit around the table and talk the talk. There will be no confusion. We all will disagree to agree. But at last, the country interest comes first. So let me say good morning to all of you and welcome you to Good Morning Liberia. Today is the Thursday edition. And it promises to be very interesting. Matter of fact, we have guests from this morning up to the climaxing time of our show. So all you need to do is sit and relax as we drive you through our conversation this morning, through all of the segments with guests coming in order to disseminate information to you this morning. So let me say good morning to all of you. I should say that it is great to be here, and I feel blessed being here this morning. You know, I always tell people that waking up every morning, it is not by your grace. It is not because you are so perfect. Me waking up in the morning, it is not because I sit here every morning to talk the Liberian people thing. It's because of the grace of God. That's the reason why I wake up every morning. His mercy. So we need to be grateful each and every time we wake up in the morning, safe and sound. All of our body parts, they are correct. You need to be thankful. So let me say good morning to all of you. Those of you in Grand Bassa County joining us this morning. I'm passing through Buchanan. And those of you in Mahagibi County, Kakata City, all of the towns and villages there. And Bon County. Let me say good morning to all of you in Bon County. Those of you in Lofa County, I'm passing through this morning. Bonchaman City, how are you doing there this morning? And let me say good morning to all of you in the diaspora. Those of you joining us on our Facebook Live. That is Voice of Liberia on Facebook. Let me say good morning to you. Also, those of you watching us through our YouTube page this morning, I'm passing through and saying good morning. Those of you joining us on our online platforms, let me say good morning to you. Online radios, let me say good morning to all of you this morning. My name is Samira One Lie, and of course, I'm Samira One Lie, and I will be here with you up to 10 o'clock this morning. The cash giveaway is on. We're giving out 10,000 Liberian dollars. We're giving out 50,000 Liberian dollars. And you want to know what is it? How is it you're going to play this morning? And you will play by dialing star 799 star 90 hat. That is the code that can make you to win money. Star 799 star 90 hash. I'm sorry for the poor quality of my voice. We hope that we get a better voice next week. Yeah, we really do hope so. So the code remains star 799 star 90 hash. That is the code. You dial it in order to win yourself 10,000 Liberian dollars, in order to win yourself 50,000 Liberian dollars. And guess what? You are playing with 200 Liberian dollars this morning. Just 200 you will play with, and you will win yourself 10,000 or 50,000 LRD this morning. So let me say good morning to all of you, and let me welcome all of you once again to Good Morning Liberia. This is where we converge to talk about the issues that matters to our dear country, Mama Liberia. The secret of getting ahead is to get started. If you cannot start something, you will not accomplish what you want to accomplish. That is my wise words for you today. If you want to get ahead, if you want to go forward in life, the secret is for you to get started. Whatever you want to do in life, as soon as you take that bold step to start, definitely you know that you will get ahead. No matter all of the trials along the way, you will fail, but it doesn't mean that you should stop. You should continue going because you do know what you want. So let me give you the lineup this morning, fellow Liberians. Let me tell you what we will be talking about, okay? Let me tell you what we will be talking about this morning. Currently, as we speak, we have representatives from the STOOP of the University of Liberia. They are here, and they said that they are to carry on a peaceful march this Monday, which will be the 14th, I'm very sure, of April. And we have Paule Emmanuel, who is the chairperson for Bureau of Press, Propaganda, Research, Guidance. We also have Lawrence Gay, who is the Center Committee members, chairperson, March for Justice campaign. And we have Buema Passaway. These are the three individuals that will be in our studio this morning. They are already on the grounds of Voice of Liberia compound, and shortly we will be taking them. And we'll have that conversation coming up to 8:30. And fellow Liberians, at 8:30 this morning, we will have in studio Avi Wisse. Avi Wisse from the CDC, the Coalition for Democratic Change, or people who say the Congress for Democratic Change is still correct. He will be here this morning. And at 8:30, fellow Liberians, we're going to have a long conversation. There are too many things we will talk about on the broadcast this morning with Avi Wisse from the CDC. Some of the things that will be discussed with him this morning, it includes the due payment program that is to be held at the compounds of the CDC this Saturday, where you have the political leader there and all of the executives of the CDC. They will be at the compounds of CDC in Concord Town this Saturday for the whole dollar rally thing. So we'll start up the conversation, and we'll also talk about the attack on EDF and CDC press statement condemning it. We will talk about the 2 weeks demand from the President Joe Bouaka from the Supreme Court. And we will talk about UL faculty letter own salary. Also, we're talking about the vehicle that was being bought by the President Joseph Boakai. These are things we'll talk about, coupled with other things. With Abby, we said that will take us up to 10 o'clock. So, like I said, we have guests on all of our segments this morning. All you need to do is relax and play the cash giveaway and listen to the information that will be disseminated here this morning, and also win some money along with it. Shortly, we do acknowledgement, then we take in our guests. Yeah. We will do acknowledgement, and then we take in our guests. So let us go quickly with the acknowledgement. Quickly. Right after that, we go on and usher in our guests. Juja Wanwa is encouraging people to share the live video, and he's joining us live from Johnsonville. Ruby Kane is following. CDC Papi Success Keita for Life. He's following this morning, and he says, good morning in Voice of Liberia. Following from Dupont Road. Rescue turn to big excuse to manage your expectation for 2029. Stanley Sharif says good morning to the peaceful citizens of Bohe Town, Kwakwa District, Grand Cape Mount County, Western Liberia. I am Stanley Sharif, commenting from Broadville resident. Stanley Sharif is also encouraging others to share the live video. Harris J. Saki is following this morning, and he says, good morning, VOL. I'm watching you from Kakata City, Margibi County. Sam M. Ganason says, good morning, VOL. I'm watching you from the Lime Tree Lofa Bridge, Kolakane District. And Ilikim Flomo says, good morning, VOL. I'm watching from Banga City, Bon County. Many thanks to you guys for the great job, and God bless you, God. Amen. J. Armstrong Davis says, good morning, Voice of Liberia. My name is J. Armstrong Davis, and I'm following from Banga City, Bon County. Yeah, thank you so much for the good information about Liberia and the world. I'm following you, VOL, every day. The day I don't follow Voice of Liberia, I get sick. That is from J. Armstrong Davis. Armstrong Davis, thank you for always following, but do not get sick, please. So you need to follow every day for you not to get sick, okay? Usmani Chalo says, good morning. I'm watching from outside of Liberia. And this is Mohammed Mariaman J. Sharif says, good morning, Samira. I'm watching from Jacobstown, St. Francis community. The cancellation of Wanga Zubi appearance on the radio is clear evidence that the entire government is disorganized. There's no coordination and collaboration. Everyone feels superior. Wanga Zubi has been pulled around like Australia rescue. Okay, so this is it. The President Bwaga did not appear on the radio station. He was to appear on the last time. Yesterday was to be yesterday. Because there's this release that came from Kula Fofana, and she said that if the president is to sit with anybody to have a conversation in his or her studio, meaning the president would like to have dinner with the person first, right? To meet up with the person first. I think they want to give the journalist or whoever the questions before, the president come and sit, to just narrow their thoughts, tell them what specifically to ask, to not go on. I don't know, but report reaching me, it said that the presidential press secretary Kula Fofana, she said, before the president appear on any radio station, the president will want to have or dinner with the talk show host. So you think what the dinner will be like? So for an example, if I want to host President Bwaka says, Samira, can I go have dinner? I go and sit with him. Kula Fofana, the legs of others will say, ask the question. Do not ask any other question beyond the questions that I'm giving you. So they will be like my study class teacher. They tell me what to say. Then I go and study it. I memorize it. They will just narrow my thoughts. So it was the reason why the president did not appear. Information reaching me. It was what he said. Stephen Yakade says, good morning. I'm following from Cotton Tree, District 2, Lower Margibi. Esimakia with Seku Sheriff T-shirt. Oh man, is watching from Catwell, New Georgia this morning. Musa Kalamu says, good morning, VOL. I'm watching live from 72nd Community. Thanks for the update. I'm Musa Kalamu. And then Paye Joshua is following. He says, good morning, beautiful Samira, watching from Nimba County District 6. Kutape is following this morning. And there's too many other followers. Sunday Flomo is watching from Bon County. And Nathaniel Ben is following from Catwell Road. David S.K. Tukpa is watching from Kakata City Telecom Community. Stanley Sharif is following this morning. Let me say many thanks to all of you who's following this morning, who's commenting. Let me say thank you for following. And let me urge all of you who's following this morning to please share the live video. You want to share the live video in order to help people to get the information that will be disseminated here this morning. So please, those of you watching, share it in the various groups, chats, and all of that. Your personal inbox, you can share it to others so that they'll be able to watch. So those of you listening, let us keep the share button active, okay? Like we said, we have members from SOUP here this morning, and also because 8:30 we will have to usher in Avi, we said, so that we'll be able to talk other things concerning the country, how the country is going, and CDC due payment program that is coming up, and all of these things will be discussed here at 8:30. So for that reason, the time is 24 minutes past 7 o'clock. We will go over to our guest here. His name is Prince P. Dix Jr. from SOUP, the Student Unification Party of the University of Liberia. Liberia only state-run university. We have him here, and definitely we will ask some of the questions as to, what are some of the things they want to tell the Liberian people. Why is it there? Yeah, I heard that there's an upcoming peaceful march that is scheduled for Monday, but we'll get information from them. But just before we go over to our guests, let me remind you of the cash giveaway. It is on. We're giving out 10,000 Liberian dollars. We are also giving out 50,000 Liberian dollars. All you need to do is to dial *799 *90#. Dial *799 *90#, and then you play with 200 Liberian dollars. While we're having a conversation, I want for 10 persons to play more than 5 times, because the more you play, the more chances you stand to win. So you want to play more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times in order to stand a better chance in the draw. Right after our first segment here, we will take a draw for 10,000 Liberian dollars. Those of you who want to play in USD, you can play with $1.50 this morning. Let me say good morning to you, Prince.
Good morning, and good morning to people in Reloland.
Okay, so I usually use this saying that time is money. We're not seeing the other individuals here, but I know that they are trying to make their way. Am I right?
Yeah, in Simwood.
Okay, but we have to go. Really, it's time. So we have to go because we have other things to do. So we can keep up the conversation while your colleagues join us later.
Firstly, before I introduce myself,
Okay.
let me firstly use this opportunity to recognize the most powerful man on the campuses of the University of Liberia. In honor of come leader, come teacher, come mentor, come cadre, Sylvester, SK Wooder, Sylvester, who is the chairman, and also recognizing extension all militants of the Vanguard Unification Party who are carrying the baton for the liberation and emancipation of this nation. Comrades, you have my distinct recognition.
Okay, so go ahead with the introduction.
I'm Prince P. Dix Jr., a member of the Vanguard Unification Party, to be precise, a senior combatant, and we say senior combatant when interpreted into capitalist language, we will say lawmaker. Today in Stilo, we'll be discussing on the April 14, what led to the April 14, 1979, that is mostly referred to as the evil Saturday in the history of Liberia. And again, we will also like to say there will be a mass arrest on April 14 of 2025, This mass arrest will go to members of the CDC-COP who brutalized and dehumanized our comrades on July 26, 2022. Comrades who were in demand for Liberia to be fixed, and they were at the American embassy, weaponless, and members of the CDC-COP to be precise, Ben Billy Tokba, fully massacre, and the legs of the other guys. Monday will be a mass citizen arrest for them. But again, let me inform the public on April 14, 1979. What led to April 14, 1979?
Okay.
Many have said April 14, 1979 came as a result of the increasement of rice price. Firstly, before April 14, 1979, there had been series of contradictions within the Liberian society under the then presidency of President William Richard Tubman. But then you could not have multi-democracy system. The democratization of the state was limited. Tubman, but then never wanted to give Liberia a kind of a suitable democracy that today that you and I will enjoy, where it will come to freedom of speech, it will come to freedom of assembly, and it will come to, let's just say, multi-party system. The Tubman oligarchy, but then never wanted to give Liberia or Liberian that identical space. So the letter of Gabriel Bagger Matthew, the letter of our leader and teacher, mentor, H. Bowman Formula Jr., the letters of members of the Student Unification Party that how to do a war, Gabi Tabla, and all the guys, Tupac Tipote, were in the vanguard, demanding that Liberia and Liberians should go to a multi-democracy party system wherein you as a journalist can sit today and say, I want to rule Liberia and I can form my own political party, go to NEC and pass through all of the criteria. Then, of course, yes, you can have your own party. These things were limited. These things, in fact, it was not even happening. So they have tactically managed to sit with the then leadership of Tubman, and Tubman had refused because Tubman had fixed, the Tubman leadership, that was the elite leadership, had fixed to themselves that these children are the children of the common people. So they cannot sit with the children of the common people to have a dialogue. In fact, some members of the Tubman elite or Tubman oligarchy refer to them as gigafly. They cannot sit with these guys. So these guys were only looking for a situation that will sparkle wherein they will come into the street. There's a reason I don't refer to April 14 as rest riot. I refer to it as rat first before rest. That is RRGHT. I refer to it as rat before rest. And these guys were only waiting for a movement that will spark them and will lead them into the street demanding for all these things. But again, there should be a genuine cause. Because, like I said previously, you could not sit with the Tubman oligarchy demanding a democratization of the state, demanding a multi-democracy system, demanding equal opportunity, demanding equal rights, demanding freedom of speech. You could not sit with them. So it was in April of 1979 when the then agriculture minister in Florence Chinwe increased the rice price from 22% to 26%. And what was the reason? The reason was just simple. You know, the progressive, but then they were guys, even up to now, are guys that read, and if you say something, they have to analyze it first before they can even quote or before they can even accept it. So they tactically managed to sit and say, what is it? You are increasing the rice price or the percentage from 22 to 26. What is it? Is it because the Tubman family and the Florence Chinwe are having a large farm? That is the reason. And if we accept the increasement in the price of rice, it will not benefit the Liberian people, but it will still benefit the elite. What do the Liberian people stand to benefit if you increase rice price? If we accept that the rice price should be increased, like you are wasting no time, you are increasing it. And so on that basis, those guys said and strategized, saying since they have refused multi-party democratic system, since they have refused the democratization of the state, since they have refused for us to sit and have an intellectual discourse with them. For the increasing rice price, it is about time that we get into the street demanding that rice price be reduced, because if we accept that rice price should be on the increase, it will not benefit the Liberian people like over the past time Mr. Barker and his rebirth of the two-wing party and the Tobo elite have come against, say they want to give Tobo a rebirth. That will not benefit the Liberian people. So you
Okay,
guys said,
so leading now to our dispensation, what is happening currently within the country? Monday is expected to be what kind of day? What is it that Soup will be doing on Monday? Let's go straight to the issue.
Monday will be a celebration of all of the comrades who lost their life in defense of the democracy that you and I enjoy today. That is a right and privilege that you and I enjoy today. We will be celebrating them, and again, we will be demanding the Barker's administration, the Barker's Kun administration, that 2022 of July 26, members, militant cadres, and also peaceful students of the University of Liberia were dehumanized and brutalized by the then CDC COP. And we understand that the then CDC could not prosecute herself, because you and I were aware that the system will not prosecute itself. So we demanded justice. And if we do name calling, we don't love to do name calling because more people are forgetting, but let us do name calling so that they can bring bad memories. Christopher Water Susuru CVD that was seen or live on camera being stripped butt naked. That dehumanization. Justice speaks against that. For a want to be dehumanized, that has to do with being undressed or stripped butt naked. We will be demanding justice.
So you're saying that this government should be able to prosecute those who were involved into the incident that happened in 2022 July 26. Is what you're saying?
Yeah. Super saying these guys should be brought to justice.
So how is it going to be like? How is the celebration going to be like? Is it going to be a match? Will there be will there be
convocation?
All of those things we want to know. If you know,
all the past time, whenever you say protest, there can be no convocation. In a march, there is no
protest or a celebration, because you are saying protest again.
If we say protest, we just say peaceful protest, and that speaks about.
No, you told me about the celebration. You'll be celebrating.
We will, the Vanguard members of the Vanguard Civication Party will be two teams.
Okay.
Members of the Vanguard Civication Party will be celebrating those guys who lost their life on April 14, 1979. The right and rest riot.
Okay.
Those guys who lost their life in defense of the democracy you and I will enjoy.
Freedom of speech.
That's one. That's one. And two, there will be a peaceful protest demanding the Justice Ministry and the Barker's Kun administration that we need justice for Comrade Christopher Water Susuru CVD. We need justice for Comrade George Dasso. We need justice for Comrade Stephen Suleiman Brown, that we're seeing on live camera being brutalized and dehumanized by elements of the CDC COP. I will do a name calling on apparently 2 or 3. I don't want to do fully massacre. Fully end massacre is seeing all the let's just say passing around, and justice are not being served to these brothers who were dehumanized and brutalized on July 26, 2022. Ben believes Tokba is seen all over the place, and justice is yet to be served. We demanded justice from the CDC, on the then CDC regime, through pen and paper. But again, we are students of progressivism. We are aware that the system will not prosecute itself. That is the reason you then see members of the Vanguard Civication Party in the street demanding justice. But Monday, you will see militants of the Vanguard Party in the street demanding justice, and also celebrating our comrades who lost their life on April 14, 1979.
So Monday, you will have two different things that you'll be getting in the street for: a celebration and also a demand for justice.
Certainly.
Okay. So how is that going to be done? Give us the itinerary for Monday. How is it? Is it just members of SOUP that will be outside.
The itinerary money is just two major things.
Okay.
One, Article 15A of the Liberian 1986 Constitution, which talk about peaceful expression.
Okay.
And we will also, another one again will be Article 17 of the same Liberian National Constitution, 1986, that talks about peaceful assembly. These are the two major things that will be done: peaceful assembly and freedom of speech.
So where is it that you guys will be assembling?
Will be under the ambience of the Liberian 1986 Constitution. Our assembling places will apparently be 2 or 3. One will be, we march from our Capitol Hill campus of the University of Liberia, march to Broad Street. That have to do the celebration, and from the Broad Street celebration, we will go to the Justice Ministry, giving our petition to the Justice Ministry that we are demanding justice for Christopher Water, Susuru CVD, George Dasso, who are in exile and they are unable to come back here because they are still trauma from what the CDC COP did to them. They are still trauma, and up to now, they are yet to be seen among their peers or among their colleagues. So we need justice. It could be you. You could be dehumanized, you could be brutalized, and if the Vanguard Civication Party that stands for social justice, academic freedom, and peace cannot advocate on your behalf for you to receive justice, and these guys, these perpetrators, are still passing around as if to say nothing has happened, then that is world peace. The peace that Liberian city enjoy today, that is a fractured peace, will be questioned.
Okay, so here's it. You're saying that they are still traumatized because of what happened in 2022 July. Is it that you people are in communication with them and they are saying that they need justice for what happened, or it's just your own way of coming up with the justice because you people felt that what was being done to them, it was not right, and so people should be able to answer for what they did, or the individuals themselves, they are saying that they are demanding justice? Are you in communication with them?
Firstly, let me say the Vanguard Civication Party will never lose communication with their comrade.
Okay.
If in the worst case scenario, if they are demarred and they are immature done, there are still elements of the Vanguard Party who are immature. So we'll still be in communication with them. We believe that revolutionary don't die. So elements of the Vanguard Party don't die. We only depart F and go mature and continue on the revolution there. We are still in communication with them. We are not lost communication with them. And again, they are not the one demanding justice. Like I told you, the Vanguard Civication Party stands for academic freedom, social justice, and peace. Years ago, we saw members of the Vanguard Party demanding Diggy to leave the LACC. That is, he was a Nigerian, and the job at the LACC, when you read the LACC laws, it says you should be a Liberian before you can go there. So the Vanguard Civication Party were in the Vanguard telling Diggy that he should leave the LACC. You saw a recent. The Vanguard Civication Party had demanded on several occasions, demanding the government of the day to give the Liberian people equal opportunity. So we don't necessarily have to be in communication with them. They're telling us that they're demanding peace. No. We as a party, we understand that what our manifesto preach, we need justice for our comrades who were brutalized and dehumanized on the instruction of Mr. Jefferson Kochi and Mr. George Manonwia that were led by the CDC COP.
How can you say that it's under the former president instruction and also under the former mayor instruction? Did you get a report saying that?
The Vanguard Civication Party operates on TPA.
Okay.
And if my TPA inform me that you send elements of your league to come after me, and these guys are coming after me and I'm being brutalized or victimized, you cannot prosecute them. What that single? That single to mean that my TPA did not lie to me. The Vanguard Party TPA can lie to the Vanguard.
Don't you think that you are accusing them? It's accusation.
I just said in my previous statement that the then CDC regime could not prosecute the CDC COP. So our TPA informed us that these guys acted upon Mr. Weah and that of Kochi instruction. And again, another now interesting to know that on that fateful July 26, 2022, in front of the American embassy, you understand that militants of the Vanguard Communication Party won a regalia that says fix the country. And we say fix the country, we mean fix the country holistically, fix the country in all sectors, all ministries. They should equitably work for the Liberian people so the Liberian people can benefit. And the group from the CDC COP that came, if you go back to the video, you understand that they shot at the wall, it said, Mr. Weah or George Manuel Weah is fixing the country. Okay, it is all right. It is all right to peacefully assemble and say Mr. Weah is fixing the country. But again, equally so, it is not your right to come and wage war on comrades who are saying fix the country. And that, of course, you as a journalist, you saw that. You as a journalist, you saw that. And I know you watched a video before, and because it was so pathetic, you deleted it. I know you saw it.
Oh, I deleted it. You trying to accuse me too? Look,
I'm just thinking, I'm just trying to say you watched the video.
no, but are you saying that I deleted it because it was so? How can you accuse me like that?
So you will still want to keep a video that portrays someone being demonized and brutalized? I know you can do that. You're a professional person. You can do that.
So you're saying that you're calling on the current government to prosecute those who are being involved into
the brutalization of our commerce.
Yes, in July 2022. Do you think that this government will do that?
We believe that the system will not give you what you wanting, because once you come in,
the system will not give you what. How many times?
Equitably.
How many times did you raise this up in the Weah government?
It was, let's just say, 3 times under the able leadership of Mustafa Nuskena Alatok, the 31st Politburo and Senior Committee of the Vanguard Communication Party, and it was raised 3 times. I can remember we marched from the Capitol Hill campus of the University of Liberia to the Justice Ministry. We gave our petition demanding justice.
So you're saying, and then let me just come in. You're saying that the government will not give you what you want because it will not prosecute themselves, right?
Yeah, but then the CDC government.
But then you should understand that you said that you carry a complaint to the Justice Ministry.
The
Justice Ministry doesn't interfere with the government. It doesn't have anything to do with the government or whatever. It's to give out justice to whoever that deserves a justice.
The thing here is just simple. When I say the system won't prosecute yourself, we understand how rotten the Liberian system is and how rotten it were. And this is not the first time. Like you saw April 14, from history, April 14, 1979, the system had been rotten from the two-wing party. Up to now, the system is still rotten. And the Liberian system is kind of like created in a way that you as the head of the executive, you will one way or the other place a call to someone that most especially be precise the Justice Ministry, and the minister will say, we have received your communication and we will set up a committee to go and investigate that, blah 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 blah, XYZ, and within a chunk of an eye they will place a document. We are seeing that on several occasions. If I will name some, we saw that with Global Mususka. Global Mususka was prosecuted, and then under the then CDC regime, when the Baka's administration came to power, we are carrying on a Florence. Within no time, they free Global Mususka. We saw that. So that is there are two conflicting issues there. The CDC administration said Global Mususka was found guilty for the death of the late Charlie Mususka. That is where the Vanguard Communication Party were in the vanguard, demanding justice for Charlie Mususka were in the vanguard. And then we witnessed or we saw Global Mususka going at the Monrovia Central Prison. The Parker's administration, by the time as they took power, within no time, we saw Global Mususka being free. On what basis Global Mususka being free? Did they Florence? No. I can say to you, there was no Florence.
But yet still, it is the same regime. You are asking again.
It is just for a reason. the Vanguard Communication Party are always been peaceful.
Okay.
But many people don't understand. They don't understand. Like I can normally say when I'm on a political power, I can normally say, if you believe that the Vanguard Communication Party or God or hooligans and talks, that is, you are mistaken. For us, we believe that when intellectualism and diplomacy fails, radicalism becomes the last resort. So this time around, it is time for intellectualism. It is time that the Justice Ministry sit on round table, be able to bring these perpetrators to justice, so that if they have vindicated from what we are demanding, no issue, let them go. But let them just be brought to justice. But again, like I told you, the system is rotten, and the system is made in a way that they can give you what you deserve at a particular time. So the chairman has said two things.
Okay.
The chairman has said two things. If, like, the 31st leadership demanded justice several times through writings and through petitions, members of the Vanguard Communication Party who were brutalized did not receive justice. We will put the Unity Party government on test. We will demand justice. If these brothers cannot receive justice, then there will be a mass citizen arrest. Yes. And if that mass citizen arrest comes in, let the CDC COP take us to the Justice Ministry. Let we and the CDC COP be at the Justice Ministry. Let them be demanding justice. Like we ourselves, we are demanding justice.
Okay, so quickly, before we go to the phone lines, there's something I want to understand. There's something that, it happened the last time. And I just want to get a clear picture as to why, as to if it was soup that went there, and as to so yes, I thought to bring that up because I want to get a clear picture. It's always good to get the information from the house's mouth. Okay, it's not why you're here, but Lord, I will ask you their questions. So before we go to the phone lines about this Monday peaceful march and celebration, all of that, why I said that first. It said that it was soup or members of soup that went at LFA.
I'll be emphatically clear.
Yeah.
There were members of the Vanguard Communication Party that went at the LFA, the Liberia Football Association.
You can't give him why?
Yeah.
Okay.
You said something, though it is not what I came for, but again, this is what the Vanguard Communication Party trained
Yes, we want
us
to.
for. Yeah. Where we should defend impromptu speeches, or we should defend impromptu questions. Okay. It is so sad that in our modern day dispensation, especially the 21st century, that Liberians are not reading. When I say Liberians are not reading, that is, Liberians are not reading, the understands that in South Africa, it was students that got into the street of South Africa to demand that the South African football that the South African Football Association gave the South African a communication that there was a form received. You getting me? There was a form received, and then this technical form that was received. The fund was not allocated to its rightful purpose. So they should give them a document proving to that. One, Djibouti Football Association president is in 10-year jail for mass corruption. Hope you getting me?
Yes, clear.
Djibouti Football Association president is in 10-year jail for mass corruption. That's one. Who took Djibouti Football Association president to jail? That is the Djibouti government. In Brazil, citizens of Brazil mounted a script saying football in this 21st century contribute immensely to the growth of the economy of any country that has a football team. So the Football Association should be able to make the country and its people benefit from the daily work. You getting me? For the then World Cup. Or recent, Sierra Leone Football Association president is going on an investigation, and the youth and sport minister are being sacked for mild corruption. Members of the Vanguard Communication Party went at the LFA for one major reason.
Okay.
People saying Soup demanded Mustafa Raji naturalization. No. Soup said in her press release, Soup said Mustafa Raji should make public his naturalization. That is, Mustafa Raji, one of his parents, is from Nigeria, and another one is from Liberia. So Mustafa Raji should make a public his naturalization. And that, of course, Mustafa Raji did on LBC. What we are left with is the 2021-2022 GSE audit report. In that Mustafa Raji, there was a fund allocated to the LFA, to the government of the Republic of Liberia. And then the identical fund was crowned up. That identical fund did not materialize as expected. So the Vanguard Syndication Party is saying that Mustafa Raji should again be audited, and this identical report should be publicly made known so that the public can know how Mustafa Raji
Is it that you
operating.
communicated with him, you wrote a letter and all of that, but do you think that the step that was taken by members of SOUP, it was the rightful step?
Which step?
By going there that day, it was the whole country was like, why SOUP, why SOUP? Because the way in which you people went there,
That is why.
and what we saw happening there, it was
Okay.
the reason why I decided to ask the question, because the whole place was upside down.
Okay, I love your question. The militants of the Vanguard Syndication Party went there.
Uh-huh.
We went there with our own cameramen.
Okay.
It's like me coming to a Voice of Liberia, telling Voice of Liberia that I want to go at the Justice Ministry on Monday. So I'm pleading with you to please cover up that identical event.
Okay.
And I went there and you follow me.
Okay.
All of the footage or all of the pictorial evidence from there are from Voice of Liberia. I'm discussing about Monday now. Come Monday now. We come from Voice of Liberia. Do you think, in your own mind, the Vanguard Communication Party, like is a Marxist, linear, intellectual, revolutionary, radical institution, will take a cameraman behind them when they are going for negation of the negation, or when they are going for radicalism?
Because the negation of the negation of how that's
I come in now. We take a cameraman behind them to do a cover up or to do a live podcast. No, the Vanguard Communication Party will not do that. We dared the Mustafa Raji administration to give all a footage from their CC camera, because they have CC camera at the LFA, to give all footage or video from their CC camera. The members of the Vanguard Party were taken to court. Questions that were asked: where is your evidence that members of the Vanguard Party were seen vividly vandalizing properties of the LFA?
So the case was thrown out?
There were no evidence. The case was thrown out. Members of the Vanguard Party are awesome. I'm telling you. So again, when you go to the video from Hot FM, you will notice that when the comrades enter the fence, the co-chair for propaganda research and guidance, which is Comrade Eli, well, let's just say speaking to the media, speaking to the public, and then there's a guy that was in green side. He decided to stop the comrades, and yes, of course, while stopping the comrades, fighting break up. But again, when you watch the video, you will not see militants of the Vanguard Syndication Party vandalizing property. So we challenge them. Up to now, they are yet to bring it. But again, like I said, it is so sad that Liberians are not reading. We are not reading. Because somebody will ask, like you ask, why should go to the LFA? Don't you know that the government of the day gave a funding to LFA through Ministry of Youth and Sport for a tournament in Liberia called the Vata tournament that is responsible for university students to go and partake in that tournament?
Let me just understand it. Without a formal letter, you people just went there with a cameraman and said, I need footage, right? That was it, right?
No, not footage.
or whatever.
We went there with the cameraman to talk to the press.
But
That
you-
Mustafa Raji, Mustafa Raji was indicted in the GSC 2021-2022 report. That he was indicted. That is, we don't need a selfie-common letter again. We don't need a selfie-common letter. We went there with a cameraman. Telling Mustafa Raji, the public, that Mustafa Raji was indicted in the GSC 2021-2022 report.
Also, as the public that people went there to inform.
That's all.
So you went to inform the public at LFA.
At LFA. Yes, of course.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
We'll be on Monday. We'll be Monday.
Thank you.
April 14 at the Justice Ministry.
Okay, thank you.
So-
let's now go over to your colleague. Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
You should be, the name is Mohammed Talawale, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so welcome, Mohammed. You are late though.
Thank you very much. First of all, let me say I'm sorry for being late.
It's okay. You need to talk to the microphone, please.
All right. For the sake of acquaintance, my name is Mohammed S. Talawale, and I am the chairperson on the membership recruitment and mobilization of the 33rd Politburo, 33rd Central Committee of the Africa biggest repository of consciousness of the Indomitable Revolutionary Vanguard Student Unification Party.
So,
Okay, so your colleague here, he said a lot about this Monday celebration and peaceful march that will be held by the Student Unification Party. But you can just give your lights quickly on some of the things that will be done so that we'll be able to go to the phone lines, because he filled us up already. So we just want to hear a few things from you about this Monday specifically, peaceful march and also celebration. Then we go to the phone lines. What is it you have to say?
All right, thank you very much. Before I go to the issues, I want to highlight or retrospect our minds, especially Liberian people and the youth and student community, because we believe that the youth and student community remains the barometer of consciousness in every society. When you retrospect your mind back in 1976, June 16, Soweto uprising in South Africa, that you will get to understand how the black indigenous were deprived by a government at the time called the apartheid regime, a racial segregation and separation, wherein the black race and the white race cannot sit on the table to discuss the progress or the forward mobility of South African. But later, the students, the likes of, Steve Bantu Biko, a man who spearheaded the black consciousness movements of Africa at the time, led the people with the colleagues. Today, when he talks about one of the beautiful countries in the world and beautiful city in the world, talks about Cape Town, and you also talk about South Africa. They also tell you that South Africa did not get beautiful based on silver platter. Now, in the context of Liberia, Monday will have a peaceful march as usual under the banners of the Student Unification Party in commemoration of our fallen heroes who was killed during the Rest Riot. But we want to demystify this. Like my colleague regularly stated, our major problem, one of our major problems, especially the youth in Liberia, is about reading. Because there's a proportion that says one who refuse to read history are doomed to repeat history. So in that light, when you follow the historic setting in this country, that many people will come and portray that April 14, 1979, Rest Riot was only based on the infliction of rice in the market. Protests took place. The peaceful protester went on the street. It was not only limited to rice. It was so many things that occur. But there's something in history we call accident for necessity. So when you go back to April 14, 1979, Rest Riot, you will get to understand that under Turbo regime at the time, the Turing Party, there was economic injustices practicing, and the Liberian people were subjugated at the time into destitution and poverty. And you will get to understand there was a political depression at the time in this country. Then you also get to understand there was social uprise, by the progressive forces, wherein under the economic inequalities, Turing Party ruled, inequality between American Liberians. The indigenous were suppressed by them. So the progressive forces at the time saw that as an affront, and leading those forces, like the lacks of progressive alliance of Liberia on a part, and the lacks of the movement for justice in Africa, and those heroes, the lacks of Tipote, led the people, they saw a need that it is necessary and is fashionable to do so, to lead our people. Because every one of us in this country cannot have that mindset and cannot be a student of revolution at
So
once.
quickly, let's go straight to it. Monday march and celebration.
So Monday March celebration, like I said, will be very peaceful. And as usual, Student Unification Party has always been Africa's biggest, and the militants and stalwarts of the Student Unification Party are the most conscious pieces in the continent of Africa. Will always be peaceful. And as always, we will be peaceful in line with the organic law. Because when you look in Liberia, we have three major laws. We have an organic law, we have an administrative law, we have a customary law. The organic law supersedes everything that is a constitution of Liberia. And as always, we march in line with the constitution, because when you go in fulfillment of Article 17A, Article 15A give you right to protest.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Let's just take few calls as we have our next guest already. Yeah, so we will just take few calls. Then we call it a day. Those of you who listened, you heard it. Monday will be a celebration and also a peaceful march concerning the people who passed away in the rice, like he said it, the rice and right riot.
Right first.
Right and rice riot.
Massacre.
Yes, and they will be celebrated. And also, they will be asking the President Joe Bwaka government to prosecute those that were involved into the July 22nd, 26, 2022
brutalization
of Stoop Militant.
Besides the CDC COP.
Okay, so now let's go to the lines. Let's listen to Liberians on this 077-9003-835. Those of you in Monrovia, 077-9003-835, 0880907-907. Those of you in Monrovia for the counters, 0773-419-502, 0555-184711. That is for the counters. And those of the females who want to participate, you call us on 0773-978564, 0773-978564. Let's talk to our first caller here. Good morning.
Good morning, Samira. Good morning to everyone.
Morning. Let's hear you.
Well, this is Prince Tumba. I'm calling from Upper Conway.
Okay.
Those guys, I don't know if whether they are immigration now to question Mustafa Raji. And then secondly, he's saying that your first student guy is saying that Liberians are not reading. They are not reading. In fact, they don't know the purpose of them going to school. I'm recommending to the government that anyone, those guys are bandits. These are bandits. When they get in the street, they should apprehend them so that we can have our country peaceful. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Morning.
Samira, good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you quickly, my brother.
Thank you for the time. This is the voice of Andrew Indy. I'm Andrew Spire, the serial kissing ball. You see, Samira, let's be real. The Congress in studio, their issue is not logical. How can you leave your campus base and go at LFA only because you want to inform the public? So you are saying that there is no area on your campus that you can stand and what we call tell the public what you want to tell them. And lastly, Samira, these guys will never keep this government fit to fight because this is soup government. We have masters of soup veterans in this government, so they will do nothing to the government. They were there because the guys are what we call 100% in bed with the government, just the way they were in bed with the past regime. So that is how it is. So we should not expect anything from them.
Okay.
Absolutely from them. Thank you for.
Thank you. Morning.
Hello.
Let's hear you.
Okay. Good morning, my dear. Did I hear one of your callers call those boys bandits? I wonder if he knows the meaning of bandits. Come on. You know, if he has nothing to contribute, he should keep silent.
Thank you. Morning.
Hello, good morning.
Let's hear you. Yes, let's hear you.
This is Alfonso Bivaka, aka Red Power International. I'm calling you from Mumbai.
Okay.
the spirit in studio, they are banding because their attitude show clearly that they are banding.
Can we speak to this issue that has to do with the people coming up on Monday morning?
Samira, good morning.
Let's hear you.
Thank you, Samira. Mr. Good morning to your guest. Samira, I'm a little bit constrained to call when I listen to a young brother.
This is Hussein?
Yeah, this is Hussein.
Okay, let's hear you.
So, yeah, thank you, Samira. So, even the constitutional provision is reading, Article 17 and 15A, right? It comes with responsibility for going ahead and say, right? You got your right to freely express yourself. You got your right to freely assemble. But it comes with responsibility. You know, Samira, at the University of Liberia, it is true that we have student politics. But many times, those guys are not doing well for the young students on our campus. There are people who are not involved in the politics, but those guys will always want to be violent. Who told you cannot protest? Who told you cannot assemble? But do it in a peaceful manner. But those guys will always want to obstruct the learning process on the university campus.
This conversation is being narrowed to the things we talked about. Yeah, let's narrow into it. If you get questions to ask them questions about what we talked about. The things that are being discussed here is what we are talking about, my people. You have to go the other way. No, it will be for the next time morning. Yeah, but we gotta go. The court keeps coming into
morning.
Yes.
The University of Liberia is a place for learning.
What is your name? Where do you join us from?
Yeah, this is Jeko Nana. I'm calling from Kano.
Let's hear you quickly.
Yeah, what I want to say to the brother there, you know, there are many people who go to university to learn. University is where we start our policy, but do it with respect and dignity. You know, yeah, do it with respect and dignity. You know, you can't leave campus to attack somebody in their home.
Okay.
You are not an immigration officer.
Okay, thank you, my brother. Let's talk to the next person. Morning.
Good morning, Sister Samira.
Morning. David E. Harris.
Mike Bemene, calling from the General Pastor County, one of Bond County Farmers.
Okay, how is Pastor?
Let me say to you that those guys are still, they want to go to heaven to go for heaven to come and arrest the past government official or who see them. Let them go. Nobody stopping them. Anything they want to do, they get a right. So let them go to heaven or to go to airport. Let them come and arrest the former government official that be there on the 26th of July 2022. Thank you very much for your show.
Okay, thank you. The next person, we take us up to 8:15. At 8:15, we go back to our guest.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, good morning, Samira.
You are live.
Good morning to your studio guest this morning. My name is James Bade, and I'm the chairman of the Veteran Assembly in District 16, Nickel Town.
Okay.
I would like to say, to your studio guest, it is laudable for your protest under the Constitution. It is your right. Okay? But I think the protest of these students at the university campus, most especially so, it should be directed, to uphold it in this country. Because, see why I say this? It's because majority of their lecturers and professors, who teaching them on their campuses, they are the ones that involved in this. Most of them are, are lawmakers. And they are instructors on campus. And they are exhibiting on a daily basis, rather than in this country. So I think they should bring them to a book by introducing protesters and warning their professors to disengage in rather than in our country. They are not upholding the rule of law.
Okay, thank you. Morning.
Good morning, Samira.
Morning, let's hear you.
Thank you very much. Abraham, you back to me from Bangladesh.
Okay.
My advice to the student institute is, one is talking about students are people who went to school to go learn. But with always in support of the people advocation, but it's not the thing that you will always leave from your school to make campus to go and start more especially going to the American embassy at the time to go and block traffic, disturbing to the area what people go to talk to them with no citizen in the past. Once they go to protest ground, what they do is to start packing those people, but they, found those people in place that what would be so nothing they will do. Even the government they have nothing to do. They're not even ready to do anything to even people who do corruption in a government and after about going to after the past government. So they just forget and go to school and learn for the betterment of the future. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Morning.
Good morning to you, Samira Wurukori.
My name is Samira One.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the correction. My name is Sarah Johnson. I pulled in this morning from the powerful massive rescue mission information located in Carwell. My attention has been to your talking point with your studio guest. And let me say this category clear. Everyone has the right to move freely as per the Constitution spread out. And where your right end is where someone else's right begins from. My advice to your studio guest this morning is that they can organize their protest on the campus. I know the reason why we just want to protest is to give message to the national government headed by Integrity President, His Excellency, President Joseph Newman Bwaka, and we therefore thank you. You're one of the presidents who can listen. So I recommend to you they can be on the State University campus to group themselves to invite a lot of press for the press to get the information so it can be decentralized.
Okay. Thank you. The calls keeps coming, but a minute from now we'll have to pause all of the calls. We cannot take everybody's calls. We know that you people want to make your point, but we'll have to call it a day. So let's talk to this person and talk to one more person. Then we go over to you. Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm Kasha SJ calling from Pigana.
Okay.
Yeah. My sister, look, those guys, they are not doing nothing good for the country. They are not nothing good they are doing for the country. They always bring problem to government. Always trying to bring problem to government. Yeah. Look, he went to campus to go to school and learn some things for yourself. But you every time for government take out, every time you will be disturbing government operation for what? So they are not doing nothing good for the country. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Morning. Morning.
Samira?
Yes.
Yeah. My name is Oliver Wadsworth. I've been joining this minute from Town. Samira, I just told you, is that shooting or protest?
So if you just joining, let's talk to the people that have been here. Morning.
Good morning, Samira. I'm Reggie Chia calling from the country.
Okay.
I heard my brother say he wanted the government to prosecute the other government officials or people that beat on the people 2022. Then the same government you appealing to a prosecute, the same government beating the NCSS students right in your faces. So what you would say about that? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We pause all of the calls for you. Sorry, we cannot take all of your calls. The time is 8:15, and we said that at 8:15 we will pause the calls to go back to our studio guests. So those of you, let's get the lines off because it's going to keep disturbing. So, okay, quickly, you heard all of what they said. Let us just climax everything. Let's just say within 3 to 4 minutes so that we call it a day, please. Let's do it quickly. Okay, yes, 3 to 4 minutes, yeah.
Okay, anyway, firstly, let me say thanks to everyone who make it that responsibility or duty to put credit in the phone, especially on these podcasts, kleptocracy, under this Bwaka administration, where eating is an achievement and priority. To take your money and place it in your phone and call, it is a major tax. Thanks to everybody. And let me say this before we respond to the questions. The Vanguard Communication Party will be uncompromising. Yes, we will be uncompromising. And to answer the questions, let me begin with the last caller who talk about the MCSS students. If you follow the Vanguard Communication Party, you understand that when the MCSS students came outside, we call the Liberia National Student Union president, that is Comrade James Washington. Members or the chairman called him and told him, Mr. Parker told the Liberian people before his inauguration that if he become president of the Republic of Liberia, 4 months, right after 4 months, no child will be seen in the street selling cold water. So for the MCSS students to be in the street demanding education that is part of the arrest agenda, that is an affront to the Liberian National Student Union. The Liberian National Student Union should take hold of that. That is an affront. And the Vanguard Student Education Party commended all these students and condemned the government action that were taken against peaceful students, because similar action that were taken against peaceful students in the Soweto Orasi that was led to the serious massacre in South Africa. To throw tear gas into peaceful students, armed students who are demanding education. It is an affront. It is all. So if you're not following the Vanguard Unification Party, I want you to go back on the Vanguard Unification Party page. You'll notice that the Vanguard Student Unification Party did a press release condemning that police brutality. We condemn it to the core. And to answer to another person who talks about on the campuses of the University of Liberia continuously staging protests or protestation. Let me say this: if you are following the University of Liberia day-to-day activity, you'll notice that yesterday Offajet did a release. Offajet release saying the university authority, along with the workers' kleptocracy, should see to it that all of what they demanded and are led to them not going to classes, they should be able to reach to their demands or their needs. If not, any moment from now, we should offer laying marker, or I would say chalk, because in the 21st century, Liberia is the only country in West Africa that is using chalk. They will lay on the marker and the chalk. My question goes to that identical color. Is that identical statement not necessary for members of the Vanguard Party who are conscious students that are on the campus of the University of Liberia to demand that the Parker's administration and that of the university authority should deem it necessary to resolve these issues? If not, after a roundtable discussion and it has failed, if not, why can we bring protest? We will bring protest, yes, of course, we have brought protest. Okay. And to the person who talk about LFA issue, you are not reading. It is like somebody going to learn a public administration 337 that talks about ethics. And then ethical conduct. And you are now aware of what I call ethical conduct. If you're not aware how to do a good conduct. And then noticing that 2021, 2022 GSC report that indicted Mustafa Raji, and Mustafa Raji is yet to exonerate himself. Then I'm learning ethics, I'm learning 337. Is that not important that I go and demand Mustafa Raji, because we understand that the government is playing a dominant role because Mustafa Raji is a member of the Unity Party government? I want to say to you, it is welcoming that elements or members of the Vanguard Unification Party go out there to demand Mustafa Raji honor Article 15A of the Liberian Constitution, honor Article 17 of the 1986 Constitution. Then someone talks about violence. If you talk about violence, you understand that the same CDC COP that we are demanding that the Parker's administration prosecute members of the CDC COP who brutalize and dehumanize students. You understand that the militants of the Vanguard Unification Party were before the American embassy, and the only thing you could notice from us is our hands were up, and those guys came, they jumped on, they did what they did. You understand that on March 13 of 2023, when the Moses Ascara Gray stormed the university campus, to be precise, the Capitol Hill campus of the University of Liberia, beat on peaceful students, vandalized university property, dehumanized students, because students were seeing on Facebook one talk hair is on another student. Members of the Vanguard Unification Party had every necessary means to retaliate. We let Moses Ascara Gray, he did what he would do, and then the then administration could not prosecute Moses Ascara Gray or could not condemn Moses Ascara Gray behavior because he was an element of the then CDC regime. Someone talks about, the first caller talks about Bambi. Let me say this. If you don't know...
Okay, so we'll keep it there. I think there was a caller that came in and they did what they could do. So let's move over. But all of what you're saying is hurt. But let's move over to this bit. You're saying that you need prosecution from this government. And you yourself, you stated that it is the same government that released Gloria Busu's court without any... evidence that she is to be released. After you guys went in the street, protested and said that Chala Busu deserves the justice she is to get, but then this government went ahead and then they released Gloria Busu's court. You are asking the same government now to go ahead and give justice out. But let's leave it. Let's go over. We will get back to you for your closing statement. Let's go over to you. Quickly, right. Just close it. We don't want answers. No answers, please. Do not answer. Excuse me.
I just want to re-emphasize.
No, we don't have time.
I'll be very quick.
Excuse me. He said it all already. So can we please go to your party comment quickly?
Okay. So my party comment has to do with I want to re-emphasize on this and quickly, make a statement, and we'll be very emphatically clear on this. What happened on 2022, July 26th, under the banners of the Student Unification Party near Monrovia at the American Embassy, a place where symbolize peace, and from the CDC COP, brutalizing militants, humiliating militants, and especially our brother Christopher Waters Susulu civilly, we must say this to you: justice will prevail. This is not in any way that we are supporting this government. Like I said from the previous, SUP does not have a specific government. And we are not against a government because it is a conglomeration of Liberian people that make a government. But rather we are against a governance. There is a distinction between government and governance. So to conclude, I would like to say on Monday, we want to encourage every Liberians. The meeting point will be at the Capitol Hill campus, University of Liberia. You join us. The Student Unification Party will be marching from Capitol Hill campus to the Center Street, to the graveyard. We will go there and commemorate our fallen heroes, people who stood and fought for the backward reactionary backward forces in this country with their blood, sweat, and tears. And even though they know that every revolutionary processes, you must withstand the consequences. Thank you. We hope to see every one of you on Monday on Capitol Hill campus, University of Liberia.
Thank you so much. Kate, your party comment quickly.
In my party statement, let me answer to what we said not too long.
It's the party comment we are going to.
In my party statement.
No.
In my party statement.
Excuse me, you don't have to answer to it. I said what I said. Can we go ahead? We don't have time.
Okay, my party statement. The then CDC within, we knew that they could not face this country. They were put on trial and they failed. The scene with the Boakas Kun administration, we know that they will not get justice because they did similar thing against the late Charlie Mususka, and Global Mususka is all outside the place right now. We are putting them on another trial. That's what I said in my previous conversation.
Okay,
and again, on Monday, we are calling on every we are calling on every person of the Republic of Liberia to come out. The Vanguard Unification Party, like my police said, will march from Capitol Hill campus to the Center Street graveyard.
Okay.
And then we'll be celebrating our commerce. From there, we'll go to the Justice Ministry, demanding justice. And from there, we'll go back as per the directive of the chairman, which is Chairman Sylvester S.K. Widow, the most powerful man. We'll go back to wheresoever he direct us to go.
Okay.
Don't let soup, a luta continua, the struggle continue.
Okay, so you just listened to Prince D. Dix and Mohammed Talawale from the SUP of the University of Liberia, and they said what they had to say. Monday, let's see as to how it goes. Continue playing the cash giveaway. Continue dialing star 799 star 90 hatch. This morning we're giving out 10,000 Liberian dollars. We're also giving out 50,000 Liberian dollars this morning. 10,000, 50,000 we are giving out. Star 799 star 90 hatch. Star 799 star 90 hatch is the code, and play with 200 Liberian dollars or $1.50 in order to win. So we said that at 8:30 we will take our next guest, and let's now take this break. When we get back, we go into our next segment. joining us, this is Voice of Liberia 104.1, and currently you're listening to Good Morning Liberia. My name is Samira Wonla, and of course, we're here with you up to 10 o'clock this morning. Like I said, the cash giveaway continues. You want to continue playing because shortly we will be taking draws for 10,000 Liberian dollars. All you need to do is dial *799 *90#, and then you play with 200 Liberian dollars and stand a chance to win yourself 10,000 or 50,000 this morning on Good Morning Liberia. So like we said that by 8:30 we will have our guest on the second segment of Good Morning Liberia, and we have in studio currently Avi Wisse from the CDC. Whenever you hear Avi Wisse, the next thing you hear is CDC. Yeah, I will see that day when you hear Avi Wisse, you hear different political party. Yeah, we'll be waiting for that day. But anyways, I like to say that Avi Wisse from the CDC. That is how I love calling him whenever he's around. So let's now go over to our guests quickly this morning. Like I said, we will have a long conversation. In this conversation, we'll have different segments that will take us up to 10 o'clock this morning. So wherever you are, just relax, listen, as we will open the phone lines on every segment so that you'll be able to make your calls. Okay, so let us now go over to our guests. Good morning, Fidel.
Well, good morning, comrades. Samira, good morning to you for the level of professionalism, and you've been doing assiduously well in capturing and captivating the airwaves. As a matter of fact, you bringing sense to the discourse. I must appreciate you for your contribution in the journalistic landscape, waking up early in the morning and providing information, education, as well as good broadcasts to the broader masses of our people. I think is very remarkable, and it's something that we acknowledge very well. We acknowledge. So I'm admonished that you are amongst some of the best females in our country in terms of journalism arena, journalism profession.
Okay, so how is life as an opposition?
But life has been going very well, and we do not apologize for where we stand before history. We do not apologize for what we are, for what we do, for what we say, because we say what we mean and we do what we say in terms of what we are. So politically in the country, we are very, very much comfortable, and we are very happy that history has been able to exonerate us. History has been able to vindicate our generation, because we won the Liberian people. We sounded and blew this trumpet that Liberians should have gotten prepared for what we term as the biggest political disaster and catastrophe. Today, I can say this to you. I can walk on Broad Street. I can go to Doe community. I can go to Nukutan. I can go to Nima. I can travel all around with my head up. That have been exonerated. We have been exonerated. We've been exonerated. We've been vindicated by history. That what we warned Liberian people about, that the false aristocracy, the unsophisticated political elite class would have come and plunged this country back to the pre-war status. We said that we're going to take this country back to economic crisis and political crisis. We wanted the Liberian people, and so I feel live in opposition is nice. It's very nice. You can see.
So I'm seeing you, but let me say this, Abby. Let me say this. Though we will go into it, that is not the introduction of this whole program. But in short, you are trying to say that Bwaka government is not doing well. And you're saying that you've won them. Mind you, Bwaka Maya completed his 6 years, though. He's just in his second year. And we have not even gone half of his second year. And you're saying that you've won already. You don't know what is expected to come, but we will get to that shortly. Quickly, this Saturday, there will be a program held at the compounds of the Coalition for Democratic Change. You keep bringing us up to speed what the program will be about and how is it going to be the itinerary for the program.
Thank you all so much, Samira. And let me bring you warm revolutionary greetings and felicitation from the chairman, who is the most powerful man in the party as far as the Youth League is concerned, the Revolutionary National Youth League, Comrade Emmanuel Johnson. And let me bring you greetings from the most powerful chairman, Comrade Janga Augusto Cole, and the political leader of our party. As you know, that the CDC is poised to reclaim constitutional and democratic order 2029, to reclaim the presidency 2029, to make George Weah the next president of the Republic of Liberia, and to declare Bwaka as one-term president.
Also, George Weah will be going for the presidency seat?
I mean, that is unequivocal. It's clear that...
Oh, but he had a statement saying that 2029, you know, you will resign from politics at about 30 age.
Well, that's not the position, the official position of the party.
Oh, okay.
That's not the official. The party operates on the consensus of the broader masses of our people, the populace, the indigenous masses, the Lutheran proletarians, the ordinary.
So it's the party that is demanding it.
Of course, it is the party that is the party is on the backs of the impoverished masses of the people, the relegated class of Liberian society, the economically dispossessed Liberian populace. Put George Weah into politics, so he doesn't have option. And so when the people say 2029, you'll be catapulted, you'll be placed to the presidency, we say that because the party makes decisions on the basis of its own aspirations and its own political undertaking.
So hold on, Adam, let's get this straight. You're saying that the political leader for CDC and the past president of this country doesn't have option. He doesn't have his own will as to if he wants to be a president or not. Is that what you're saying?
Of course. I'm saying this because...
So his political life is being determined by CDC.
No. He is an embodiment of the CDC. The political leader is the founding father of the Congress for Democratic Change. He envisioned what is being contributed in the context of our contemporary political or dynamic as what is considered as the Congress for Democratic Change. His brother, he's the one who nurtured that institution. So what I'm saying to you here is that Mr. Weah, His Excellency President Weah, President Emeritus of the Republic of Liberia, it's a popular demand. It's a popular demand right now across the landscape. Not only citizens are alone calling for His Excellency or to come back to the presidency, but people who have no political alignment, no political relations, and business with the CDC across the political, from different, if you look at the demographics, the political demographics, the population, clearly you get, there's a popular demand for George Weah to come back to the
And how can you tell?
I am telling you.
I can sit there and say, I'm not seeing that.
I'm saying, you're not seeing that because you're playing your devil advocate. So yeah, but if you look at the context of, this society currently, you realize that the current, the national quagmire, the political neckman, and the historical accident and mistake in President Weah has legitimized the return of the Congress for Democratic Change 2029. And the government is democratically has lost legitimacy, democratic legitimacy, in terms of governance, in terms of politics, in terms of social economic development, in terms of equitable distribution of the resources. So
we will go to that. Let us talk about this Saturday program.
Yeah. So the first thing is that I saw people parading, they didn't understand how the CDC operates. The CDC operates on precedents, tradition, and constitution. If we check within the bailiwick of the CDC's constitution, the CDC constitution, there is a provision that is enshrined and inculcated within the CDC's constitution that speaks clearly, fundamentally about due payment. And so due payment is a law, is a usual routine that the party has always been able to support so that the party keeps running. Because in Liberia, if you trace history and we do a political survey of history in terms of party politics, many a times and too often, political parties in Liberia historically has been monopolized by family enterprise or having governance, but we call self-proprietorship or self or governance, or people monopolize parties differently through sole proprietorship. That's the word, sole proprietorship. I mean, one individual claiming ownership or monopoly over a particular institution. We have seen that in several different political parties. We think that the CDC, in order to perpetuate the political existence of the CDC has to be very independent from these verses. The CDC has to stand tall from these interferences that are tantamount to undermine its independence. So we say that due payment will strengthen the internal operations of the Congress for Democratic Change. By that, we mean that it provides financial independence to the party, that when the party wants to operate in terms of its operational framework, whether covert or overt operations, the party will not suffer financial setbacks. And so with that financial independence, with that financial stability, the party will be able to operate, particularly in this opposition time where the party has been attacked both externally and internally. And with all of the attacks, the institution, one thing that kept the party going is how the party has been able to sustain herself outside of government. And while we're in government, while we're still in government, the party has always been very independent outside of government funding. That's why if you look at the emergence and the involvement of the CDC since 2024, its establishment to now, the CDC has been very formidable, has been very organized, and still consistent and remain a formidable political force in this contemporary political dispensation with respect to how she has been paying her dues. Also, due payment is constitutional, it's legal, and that's why we have encouraged all of our partisans to be able to contribute their dollar, just dollar, which is $200 liberty equivalent, right, to pay that. What is the intent? The intent is to make sure that the CDC sustain itself in oppositions and the CDC sustain itself beyond opposition, because that is how the CDC has been operating. That is the belief that the CDC, and if you look at the entire metrics, we have categorized senators, representatives into different quadrants, into different spectrum, into different column, and they are in class, and these people will pay a certain amount. But for the general populace, the general body, in terms of the supporters, the grassroots supporters across the political landscape, across Liberia, even in the diaspora, you are only required to pay $1. You're only required to pay just $1. And that dollar can be paid by these processes that we've mentioned in our jingle and we've mentioned on our flyers. So we contacted two banking entities and institutions, the GT's Bank. We contacted the GT Bank, and we have the account of the GT Bank. We're also doing business with the UBA's bank. So nobody is going to claim access or have access to the finances.
Okay, so this Saturday, you'll be expecting citizens to go at the party headquarters with their dollar. Exactly. So or its equivalent in Liberty.
In Liberty. So GD Bank we have been business with GD Bank, with the business with UBS Bank, and then we have a due book set up that when you pay your dollar, we'll give you receipt.
So is there a mobile number too that you send the dollar to? Because not every time people will have the chance to get at the party headquarters.
We have the mobile numbers, and we have the bank account numbers that we've been reading, and we'll also share that with you as we are parting comments. Parting your airwaves, we'll be able to read that out to them, and so we can understand. But if we go at the party's headquarters on April 12th,
Yeah.
that we will be able to explain further in details.
Okay.
We'll be able to navigate through the very processes about how the deep payment exercise will be done.
Okay.
So our partisans can rest assured that April 12th will be the partisans of the CDC. It's an open invitation. You don't have to be a partisan, but if you feel disappointed, if you feel embarrassed about how Mr. Wakai has been able to govern this country since his ascendancy to the presidency, and you think that the CDC is an alternative to national governance 2029, and you think that you trust and believe in the workings and operations of the Indemnity Market Congress for Democratic Change, as solidarity forces, even civil servants, motorcyclists, even marketeers and street vendors, there's an open process. You will be protected. The CDC will guide you and will show that you are absorbed within the metrics and be part of history making. So that is what is called the national due payment.
Okay, so the national due payment, you have a varieties of individuals that will be paid a specific amount, right? It's been distinguished. The National Executive Committee members will pay 100 USD or its equivalent in USD in Liberty. CDC Legislative Caucus, the Senate, they will pay USD 500. CDC Legislative Caucus, the House of Representatives, they will pay USD 300. The former ministers and heads of agencies will pay 100 United States dollars. The former deputy ministers and deputy heads will pay 50 United States dollars. The National Women and Youth League executives will pay USD 10 USD. And you have the senior party stalwarts, they will pay 20 USD. And you have the county executive committee members, they will pay 20 USD. You have the district executive members will pay 5 USD. You have the National Auxiliary Network executives, they will pay 10 USD. You have the National Auxiliary chairperson and leadership, they will pay $3. You have the Zuma executive members that will pay $3. You have the general grassroots members, and these are the people that he's pressing on. These are the people that will be bringing in the $1. I think it's fair enough. The $1. Yeah, the $1 for people, it's equivalent, will be 200 and all of that. But what will be the time of the program before we move on to our next segment?
Yeah, so the time is in the morning, very, very early in the morning.
The dress code.
Yeah, the dress code is, you can dress in your party's regalia or paraphernalia. The official dress code of the Congress for Democratic Change is blue. Of course, if you choose to wear berets to identify, seditionists have never hidden from their identity. They have never escaped from their revolutionary obligation and support towards the Congress for Democratic Change. So you are actually dressed in your blue. You can come with your boots on, you come with your beret, and you can also decide to come casual. Anything you wish to do as a partisan, the choice is yours. You have the opportunity, you have the leverage to do so. So we have said time to our neighbors that Samira, the convergence is bigger more than just due payment. It's about, it's about legitimizing our claims and our assertions we made. We are going to just gather to also reflect on the gains and the progress, the achievements, the democratic initiatives, the progressive actions that President, we are told to change the dynamics of our politics. The investments into road, into education, into health, into agriculture, into the rule of law. So it will be a massive convergence of the people celebrating and say this is why this is our institution. We told the Liberian people that they did not listen, but they reincarnated to party extension that is now diametrically opposed to their social, economic, and political interests.
Okay, so if you're listening, we have Avin Wizard in studio, and we will run up to 10 o'clock this morning. Those of you who's listening, it's about time. We'll take a break and then we do the cash giveaway. So if you're listening, play now, because when that time reaches for us to give out the 10,000, we don't want people say, Samira, you did not do well. So I'm telling you to play now. Start dialing *799*90#. Play with $200 Liberian dollars and win yourself some money. Yeah. Now, we're done with the due segment. Yeah. We will go into other issues like we said on the broadcast. So those of you listening, wear your seatbelts as we take you through, okay? You will have the chance to make calls. Probably when we are done with 2 or 3 conversations, then we open the full line before we continue. So those of you who want to ask questions about the due payment program that will be held on April 12th, you can keep all of your comments, take pen and paper, write them down, and you'll be able to ask all of your questions once we open our phone lines. Now, Avin, let's go into this issue. Few weeks back, you saw that there was a news all on the internet, and it was vivid though. We saw the President Bouaka in his Lexus, a vehicle that cost $1 million at about this time in the country. And I know that you saw it. Let's be able to have a conversation around this issue that has to do with the President Bouaka buying a bulletproof car that costs that amount within this economy. What do you have to say about that?
I think Bouaka is a threat to national security. Bouaka is a threat to national security.
Why? How?
I mean, that is provoking. He's an agent provocateur. He's inviting conflict in the country. He's creating a stage for this country's fragile peace and security to go back to where we came from, the 40 years of brutal, devastating civil unrest. Samira, one of the reasons why Liberians have to 250,000 of them lost their lives is because they got fed up with the injustices being perpetrated on governments, previous governments, whether on their fundamental or constitutional human rights, of the right to economic empowerment and political inclusion. So the state under Joseph Nyeman Bouaka is not different from what we experienced and what Liberians went through under different administrations, under different governments. And so Bouaka is becoming a threat, not just threat, but an existential threat to national security.
So is buying a vehicle now make people a threat to national security?
National security. When thousands of health workers in the country, are embarrassed, they are disappointed in the government, that the government lied to them that they were going to ensure that they pay their salaries and augment their salaries and improve the health sector. And up to date, these health workers are in not just economic quagmire, they are in situational dilemma and in financial crisis. You just witnessed the University Faculty Association just issued a press statement that they've been owed about 1 year of their salaries, just benefits and salaries. The government does not care, but it does not care about them. You saw the MCSS students moving on the street, they stampede, and the corridors, they vibrated the pillars and stole the system. They were demanding quality education. We were talking about teachers returning back to classes because the government had refused to deal with their conditions, to deal with their plights. Today, you saw what happened in the country. There is economic disparity between the welfare class, the petty bourgeoisie, the class of the political elite, those who are in the hierarchical order of the Unity Party bureaucracy. I talk about the big shops on Mr. Bouaka. They live in luxury while they return misery and disaster and economic anarchy, to the masses of our people. You see what happened in the country? Samira, the hardship in the country is enormous. There's total economic destitution in the country. People are being thrown out of schools. People go to hospitals. No money in the country. Today the markets across this country are getting empty. Go to Douala, go to Watersa, go to Pittsburgh. You can see clearly that the buyers are less and the sellers are more, and the market forces are not interacting because prices of significant commodities and goods and services on Bwaka has escalated and skyrocketed because of the appalling and hardship and economic condition and the concrete material realities that this government has taken over for the past 1 year and a half. So if you look across the country, any sensible and responsible leader, particularly Mr. Bakai, who purported himself as a 42 years experienced man been working in government, who purported himself under the rescue mantra, will use austerity measure to make serious intervention in areas that confront the happiness and that put burden on the masses of the people. Instead, this man is having loan appetite for material prosperity.
But Evan, let's not forget that he's the president and he needs protection. It was the security sector, as I learned, that even said that they should come up with something to protect the president. So he's the president. Don't you think that he should be riding such vehicle, or because the past president did not ride such vehicle, it means that this president should ride?
Samira, what protection? The best protection you can get is the protection from the masses of our people. That's the best protection. When the president is economically dispensing justice, when they are equitable distribution of the resources of the masses of the people themselves will provide protection. The people themselves will provide protection for the state and will provide protection for the president. That is the legitimacy that you get when the health system is improved, when the education system is improved, when thousands of young people are given opportunity for employment, and when you create viable space within the private sector that absorb young people with the education, with the skills, with the talents, and they can deploy it to work and be able to pay rent and be able to send their children to school and pay hospital bill. When you organize yourself in that manner and fashion, the people themselves can protect you. No bulletproof can protect a president when the president becomes very unpopular like Mr. Waka.
But it's alleged that the president's vehicle it is shot, right? Because it's alleged that the former president took one of the presidential vehicle with him while he was leaving power.
Well, I think that's a flimsy excuse. It's not just flimsy, but it's feeble excuse. And you know, the Union Party is always trying to proud ourselves as a propaganda machinery. So they lie with excellence and they lie without remorse. I'm saying to you here that this president, few months or year ago, sat on national platform and he said he was living on loan. He said that he was riding wheelbarrow to go to work. How can this man who said you were riding wheelbarrow to go to work will be flying with Beer Martin private jet just to go to Fuya, just to go to Sierra Leone? How can this man come back and ride Lexus vehicle that worth 1.2 million in the struggling and selfish devastating economy? This is provoking. This is tantamount to protestation. It's tantamount to real national upheaval. This spontaneous upheaval of the people should be awakened. If the people are not seeing that the people are in misery and the president is leveraging in opulence, in extravagance, in affluence, is that the kind of rescue mission that what I promised and to the Liberian people? Is that what he promised? You cannot fly with luxury white-haired workers as demonstrating. You cannot fly in the face of anti-poverty. Go on Broad Street. You can see poverty on the faces of the people. Poverty written on the faces of the people. Go to the motorcyclists. Go to the motorcyclists and see the disgust from the motorcyclists. See how the people are angry. And the tempo of the society is increasing. The tempo of the society is increasing. The students for MCSS are demonstrating for quality education and return of their teachers to class. The students from the University of Liberia are agitating the faculty as well. People in different locations in Liberia are facing the excruciating economic realities, the pains and agonies of bad governance and economic inequality in the country. And you sit here and back up a race with 1.2 million United States dollars in the economy, when you say it's now withdrawing because of the new policy from the American government, influencing waste and other things, and our president in third world economy, very struggling in the face of a decision. In fact, the finance minister on a Bakai, even said that the economy will be very worse. How can your finance minister say economy will be very worse and you own enjoyment? What kind of old man says? That man is on enjoyment. That man is on economic safari. He's on economic safari, political safari. Baka has to be reminded by protest. He has to be reminded by demonstration. Baka has to be reminded that this country is not Baka's republic. It is a republic of Liberia. You get bastardized everything here, and you think that this country was meant to satisfy your parochial political interest and lavish lifestyle. You work for the 2 years in government. What are you still looking for? All through your life, you have never worked in the private sector. I challenge Baka. Baka has never worked in the private sector in his entire political career. Never in your lifetime. He's always a parasite and liability on government.
Okay, I mean, so we're talking about this vehicle aspect, right? Don't you think that over the past 6 years, some of the things that CDC did, all government have its own flaws, right? Some of the things that are carried on by CDC, right? Don't you think that they're even more than a president buying a vehicle for his protection?
Well, I don't believe so. I don't think so. The CDC, we're not seeing passing around. In fact, those were the things they campaigned on. According to them, it said they were coming to correct. There will not be business as usual. That's what it said. That's what it said.
So buying a vehicle at that amount is
no,
business?
it's not just any vehicle. It's not just any vehicle. We're talking about vehicle that Elon Musk is not even riding. Hey, colleague Elon Musk. And you know what I'm saying? We're talking about in the economy where the harsh economic reality is leading to the masses of the people into serious situation.
So are you talking for the masses, or are you talking for the masses, or talking because of the economy that we're in, or you are talking because this is hurting you because you are from CDC and your government did not do it, so it means that this government shouldn't do it?
At this time in our first year, we're making interventions. We're dealing with education. We're building rules. We were declaring free tuition and WASP policy free of charge.
Okay.
We were engaged into market structural development across the landscape. We were making intervention in agriculture. We are saying to you, it is only an insensitive president who is bent on looting state resources and depleting state coffers. Will be very reckless in making expenditure, will be very reckless in spending state resources. Very reckless in spending resources. You have a finance minister that has come and declared that the economy will be very tough. Worst ever in the history of the country. He said the country will go into recession, economic recession. The country is going into economic recession. Banking institutions, there are no investors in the country. Not single investor in the country has come under the Biden administration. I mean, you have a very dangerous democratic atmosphere where, there's total political disintegration and chaos in the country. When you have the situation coming from the Minister of Finance himself, and you see Liberians now today, already there's hardship and widespread poverty, agile malnutrition and political destitution across this country. So a certain president will take 1.2 million. That money could be used to pay health workers' salaries, to increase their salaries. That money could be used to increase the salaries of civil servants. It could be used to pay the very teachers at the University of Bureau. It could be used to pay the students, the teachers at the MTSS schools. So it is an affront. It is not just an affront, but it is a provocation. And Baka is tampering with the peace. That's why I declare him as a national security threat. Because anything that happens in the country, Baka will be reprehensible. He'll be responsible for the consequences that Baka is trying to plunge the country into. No serious president will do that. Not even the brother from Burkina Faso will do that, or not even maybe we'll go around the regions. What in the West Africa around. Which one of the presidents you see diving into luxury? Which one of the presidents come on stage in the economy? But there's no money. So
in short, you're trying to say you made a statement, and this is why I want to place it, concerning the past government 1.5 year in power and this government 1.5 year in power. You are trying to say that your government did well for the 1.5 year that is spending power. this government 1.5 year in power.
I don't need to say that. Go on the streets, Samira. Go. You see.
But how do you call him? Avin. Can you not see that this government they negotiated for the yellow machines and there's new contracts and then the yellow machine will be coming to the country? There was a deduction being made. Also, the Liberia water and soil, you see pipes coming in from China. Don't you, the roads, the circling the road, though there's a controversy over it as to if it is we are that it is circling the road or it is this government. But can't you look at all of these things? It's just the same way they have here that you people, compare these things. Let's look at them.
It is laughable. It's not just laughable. It is great. It's an embarrassment for you to want to compare this reckless and insensitive government to that of the government of the mighty Congress.
But I just name out some of the things that they are going into.
The question, let's go back to the yellow machine deal.
Yes, the yellow machine deal.
It was one of the criminal deals in this country. The government said they were bringing 285 yellow machines. That what the Liberian people know.
Yeah.
So where are the 285 yellow machines?
They are coming.
Where are they taking the money from? They need to tell us who bringing the money. Where are they taking the money from? Where are the 285 yellow machines? The government promised a scholarship for over 250 students through method.
Yeah, that won't buy your line.
I mean the Nicotech scholarship. The Nicotech scholarship. Where is it currently? Where is the Nicotech scholarship? Where is the Nicotech scholarship? The government said they're going to get 10,000 young people to move them into information technology and everything to educate them and provide the skills, education, and training for them. Where are the 10,000 young people calling?
But I mean, let's look at this. Let's look at this yellow machine issue. Yeah. There was a renegotiation done by this government. They came up and they said that it's 43 million for the 285 machines. But yet it's still this whole time the vice president went renegotiated and it came up to 22 million. Don't you think that that's a boost for our how you call the thing, the fiscal responsibility?
Well, the first thing the executive alone on our law cannot negotiate. It has to be done through due diligence with oversight from the House or representative or from the national legislature. That is what we construed in the context of separation of power and coordination.
But Jeremiah is spearheading it.
I'm saying to you, Jeremiah is a dubious man. Jeremiah is a black deep man.
You are accusing the man.
I'm telling you. I mean, it's not strange. You saw Jeremiah. Who Jeremiah is with to the presidency in so many ways. You know that very well. He's a very desperate young man.
Okay, so you do not count the yellow machine. We are looking at it. One and a half year, your tape, and the one
I've been told the yellow machine will be breaking people's houses. I've been told that.
Come on. The other news I heard from the yellow machine is 19 will be going to each county.
I'm telling you, some of the yellow machine will be breaking people's houses. They have started the process.
But how is it that they will break?
I'm telling you,
except the people's houses, they are on the alley.
I'm telling you, when it started, they're about to end it.
Except they are on the alley.
The party government is very good at destroying lives and properties. I'm telling you that. This is what I mean. Let me tell you this. We talk about bread and butter issues in the country, Samira. Liberians are hungry, Samira. There's no food, there's no job, there's no employment opportunity for young people. You think we are impressed by the multiplicity of yellow machines you bring to the country? If you let go bring the whole of China and bring yellow machine, people get yellow machine. You understand? The economy is tough. The economy is in a free fall. There is a devastating economic collapse. I mean, if you go on Broad Street, you see poverty rate on the face of the masses of the people are agitated. There is economic.
But the yellow machines will help with roads.
I'm telling you, people don't eat roads. I mean, people don't.
People apply roads to bring things to town.
I mean, we talk about brand, but the issue here, we talk about brand, but.
But the United Party people say they should put brand, but issue aside.
No, we bear roads in this country. Who tells you that the brand people issue was all about road alone? If it was so, then the issue about the election result have been gone. I'm in the hands of the cities. We bear roads in this country. We bear roads. No government, it is questioning you. Since the history and foundation of this country have been more roads, it is questioning you to, as compared to the government of the indemnity mighty Congress for Democratic Change. So we bear roads in this country here. And the United Party people say that road will eat. So we say that yellow machine will eat. We talk about bread and butter issue in the country. How do we solve unemployment in the country? That's what we're talking about. How do we solve the issues of youth employment in the country? How do we solve the issues about young people in the private sector through giving them business? Giving them finances to do entrepreneurship in the agricultural sector. For example, how do we empower women and farmers to ensure that they invest into subsistence farming and then in transition into commercial farming. How do we have a viable educational system and improve health sector in the country? Those are the conversations. Not about political yellow machine that come in the country. Not a political yellow machine. Those machines are coming here to get appease at this. To get appease second law because we want for re-elections in a district.
But don't you think that will help with roads development?
I'm saying it is the first step of the yellow machine that we said it was an attempt to just afford and funnel state resources and to deplete state covers. When we read beyond them, that I remember just after them, they retreated to the catacomb. That I say the thing reducing now from 80 million. Imagine. So the money, the first 2 months of government wants to 80 million. We read beyond them. We Ramataz, we created the brouhaha to put us beyond them. And they retreated to 22 million. The next thing will come, we'll caution them, we're taking that 22 million from. They will end up going to 9 million. These are criminals. But ready in work, in clean clothes. These are state criminals. These are looters. These are economic voters. These are political recidivists. They have not had any good record in this country. Jeremiah Kun and his gangster boss in Mr. Waka looted state covers for many years. They have leached on government resources for many years in this country. Until we not know their schemes, do not know their tactics. Until we are impressed about multiplicity of yellow machine parading with one article.
Mamaka.
A political petition or Peter Pageant. Yeah, what I call Mamaka ability. And just a point we're having the country, sit on the yellow machine and pass around the play and be waving your hand. You understand? People playing fun on the people, but there will be a time where the people will come out and will lead their own industrial faith. There'll be a spontaneous upheaval. There'll be a time where the masses of the people will not take nonsense from this government anymore and they will rise up to the occasion. So let Mamaka ability be on yellow machine, be waving your hand. I said if you want queen contest here. When we ran Vietnam for 80 million, they want to steal 80 million. But we ran Vietnam, they have retreated to 22 million. We are asking, where is the money in the budget for the 22 million? Where are they taking the money from?
Maybe they'll put it in the next budget.
Where? It's not there. Where are they
the next budget.
The next budget is the next budget. So we're saying to you, let us deal with your promises. Let us deal with the brand but the issues. Let us focus on the material and concrete conditions of the masses of the people. The people are hungry. They have because they're angry with the regime. I can tell you this, go to the drug of their work facilities, go to the drug MCSS schools and private schools. The enrollment now has dropped because the economy is tough. I mean, parents can no longer afford school fees because they laid so many off. They laid it off. You know that thousands of people were laid off. I mean, some of them were civil servants. They have been laid off. They have laid off even people who have been working government far before their time. So those are things that happen in the country, and the people are taking note, and they will act on it very soon. So the whole government is just it's a bunch of political elites that just parading and without sense of understanding about what.
Okay. So quickly, let's move on to this issue. Liberians, we will so open the lines for you. This issue that has to do with the House of Representatives. Mind you, the President Boakai, he asked the Supreme Court for 2 weeks so that he be able to intervene in the saga that went on with the House of Representatives. And then at the same time, on yesterday, the Supreme Court was to come up with its final ruling concerning the issue that has to do with the embattled Speaker Fonati and the majority bloc Speaker Rechekun. And now the president asks for 2 weeks in order to settle it.
Settle what?
Settle all of the hulu baru that is going on there.
The first thing that Samira, Waka is taking this country back to civil crisis.
How?
Look at what Waka is doing.
Mm-hmm.
They attempt for even Waka to pronounce at the center of this conflict. The first thing you understand, let me just give you a brief history about Waka and the Unity Party.
Okay.
It has always been the nature of the Unity Party to go against speakers that do not subscribe to their national political interest or belief or strategic national interest. They did that to Edwin Melvin Snow. They did that to Mr. Elita. The situation at the Capitol building with Mr. Fonati Kopa is a continuation and extension of the diabolical United Party's dangerous maneuvering and project intended to undermine the functions of the three branches of government and to arrogate or to get power, to get undue power, which the Constitution does not provide, undue power to Mr. Baka, thus making him an imperial president. This is unprecedented. It is my very first time to listen and to hear that a branch of government, which is supposed to be an autonomous body of the other two branches of government, because there are three branches. The Supreme Court of Liberia is under the judicial branch of government. It's by the doctrine of separation of power, no one branch of government should interfere in the working of the Supreme Court of the Republic or the judicial branch of government. Mr. Baka did not interfere at the legislature, for which today we are in a serious crisis. Today, he's asking members on the Supreme Court's bench, he asked them to suspend or to postpone their ruling for 2 weeks. This is a form of dictatorship, and this is interfering into another branch of government. Which country are we running? Where is the rule of law? Where in this country the Constitution says that the president has power and jurisdiction, absolute control over another branch of government? Where is the Constitution that it says that? Where is the whether the 1847 Constitution or the 1986 Constitution? Let's go there.
Okay, so it could be that the Constitution doesn't state that, but as the president, since this thing has been going on, he decided and said, let me be able to talk to the both parties and see as to where this will get us before the Justice Ministry come up with its ruling, or the Supreme Court, come up with its ruling issue. It could not be that the president, but the president has been sitting here and not been interfering.
Samira, from the onset,
he had not been interfering.
Who told you that? No president interfered. In fact, President Newman Baka is the perpetrator, he's the progenitor, he's someone who orchestrated this. Baka is don't forget, Baka is the last surviving mafia of the old order. He's a dangerous maneuverer. He's the one orchestrating the conflict at the House of Representatives.
How said that he's orchestrating it?
You listen to Mr. Richard Coon, the puppet speaker. You listen to him. The puppet speaker. He said on this national platform
that he's a regime
speaker.
He's a
regime puppet.
But that doesn't mean that the president is in agreement with him.
No. So until the Ministry of Information and the government on Baka can debunk and reject categorically the assertion made by Richard Coon, then for all.
So you're saying that the president should be rejecting things that people will be saying because they are unity party?
I'm saying, so who control the police? Who unleashed Gabriel Common and his gangsters at the level of the Capitol building? Who unleashed Gabriel Common? Who did that spread all the dogs? Who burglarized the legitimate speaker's office, Mr. Fonati Kofa? Who started their own offices there?
So all of these things are being done by Richard Coon.
No, Richard Coon does not work in isolation. Richard Coon told you that he dances at the whims and caprices of the regime.
It could be that you are accusing the president. The president doesn't. He's not in consultation. He's not in agreement with all of the things he's doing. You can remember that he called Fonati the other day to talk to Fonati. So it could be that he's not the one that's telling them, go and remove this man from your office, go and do this one, go and call yourself a regime speaker.
I tell you this, Samira. On Richard Coon, violation, ability, he does not have the minimum political, democratic, legislative way better to even go after Fonati Kofa politically on the level playing field. He doesn't have.
So who's sending him?
But who was saying he? That's Leo who operated in Nation a few days ago. Why took all the money for the people in hotel? In RRJ. Where took the money from?
Who put them in RRJ again?
Better Boom.
Or RLJ, which one? I don't know.
I mean, RLJ.
Yeah, who put them there?
Better Boom.
What is the evidence?
Where took the money from? What Better Boom took the money from? About 25, I mean, about 40 plus lawmakers living in Losbury.
So you think that there's
I'm telling you, where he took that power from? Who commissioned, who authorized the police? Who empowered, commissioned, authorized the police to move at the Capitol building and beat on opposing lawmakers who were on the side of the legitimate speaker, Honorable Fanatikofa? Who started them? Who do the executive, I mean the police director or the police take instruction from? If not the executive, is who? Who was saying parading during the armed forces day when a faction of the majority black went into Speaker Kofa's office and vandalized the place? Who went Mr. Yega Kofa's vehicle and vandalized the vehicle as well? Vandalized the place.
So these are some of the reasons that the president is saying, let me intervene. Because at times, let me come in. At times, it's like this, right? You will want to wait for the issue to reach at its peak before you speak as a leader. Though it's not in the Constitution. But it could be, let me see how far they're going to go with this. It doesn't mean that the executive is backing it, Abby.
In Waka, who purported and masqueraded, oscillated, and prided himself as so-called expert and for the 2-year experience, let me tell you this. When you're doing conflict resolution, I'm not a student of conflict resolution, and I don't want to pretend to be one. But I think people look at the causation, people look at the root cause of problem. From the onset, from the initial stage, any responsible president who purports to be the father of the land will have gone right at the Capitol building initially and make intervention. That man went to address in a state of national address to the legislature in the absence of the Supreme Court members, justices, in the absence of the minority leadership, in the absence of Mr. Fanatikofa. Why address the Liberian people? Address a faction of legislators that he supported. Then you're telling me that this man is not aware of the conflict, but this man is the chief patron trying to sow a seed of discord and trying to take the country back to several classes in the country, and you're telling me that he's not aware? Who told you Baga is not aware? Who told you Baga is not aware of people losing their tenure position?
But I want to ask this, Avin. Is it that it was Baga that collected all the other lawmakers and said you can't go to Kunsa? Or the people decided? Maybe it's because of some ways that Fonati has, because they said that they cannot sit under him for no reason. So who knows as to what kind of problem they are encountering in that house? That's the reason why they said that they cannot sit under him. That's the reason why you have the majority and minority block. So it was not Baga that went and said you put your name on the paper.
So Baga plays a very major. Mr. Richard Kuhn has indicted Mr. Baga.
Okay.
He said that. What more evidence are you looking for? Who hosted the guys at the hotel? Who gave the guys money from lawmakers of Kenya? When you just took over no money in the country.
But they are lawmakers too. They are lawmakers too.
I'm telling you, most of the guys are operating on borrowed time economically. They don't have the economic financial capacity to spend more than 2 months in that hotel. They don't have the money. So who gave the power that you can protect one group of lawmakers? I mean, the Liberia National Police of Gregory Common, for example. Who instructed that they should beat on lawmakers and pepper spray them? Who instructed?
So you're saying that instruction is coming from the executive?
I'm telling you, how does it concern? Another branch of government? The judicial branch of government, the Supreme Court is the highest arbiter of justice. How does it concern the president? The Supreme Court is about to give a ruling on a bill of information fact. And you come in as a president, you say that the people must suspend and postpone that interference.
So do you think that the president knows as to what will be the result of the bill of information? That's the reason why he said that they should give him 2 weeks to talk to the both parties.
Why is the fear? Is he going to, in the 2 weeks period, is he going to tell his gangsters, legislative criminals at the House of 55th legislature to go back on the gavel of Nandukopa? Is that what he's asking for? Is that what he's asking for? Is he asking for us to go to status quo until and return the legislature to constitutional and democratic order, where the rule of law will take over from the rule of might and the rule of power and gangsterism, and from the rule of hooliganism and from the rule of vandalism? Is that what he's talking about, Samira? I'm saying to you, the president has no business interfering in the Supreme Court decision. To even say that it undermines the independence of the judicial system, and I want to warn the justices on the Supreme Court bench. It is the caveat to you. Your repetition is on the line. Do not listen to Mr. Baka. When Mr. Baka will be sanctioned, do not be the one to be sanctioned. When Mr. Baka's administration and officials will be sanctioned, do not put your integrity on the line for Mr. Baka. Everything on Baka has broken down. Baka going after the democracy. He put all he's urinating on the constitution of the Republic of Liberia. He bastardizing the executive branch of government, lawlessness in the country, all around the place. There is total disintegration and political chaos. Baka is coming after the Supreme Court. And I want for the Supreme Court to not do business with Mr. Imam Baka. Because doing so, you're going to undermine the independence of the 3 branches of government. And if the 3 branches of government are undermined, automatically the citizens will be left with no option. They will be left with no option but to provide governance for themselves. And in a state where the citizens provide governance for themselves, every rule apply on the streets. Every rule apply. The people will exist on the street and they will demand under Article 1 for the government to come down. Don't do that. Constitutionally, you can go after the legislative branch, go after the executive branch, and you are going after the judicial branch.
So you think that the Supreme Court were not to agree to the president's demand?
I mean, the Supreme Court is an independent branch of government. They got no business. First of all, can you say that you want? They're not work for you. They work for the Liberia people. They work for you. The Constitution gave them the right to be independent. That's what the Constitution said. What does Baka want? What does Baka want? He's asking for excessive power that the Constitution does not provide. The Constitution does not give him. The Constitution does not give the president excessive power. The frameworks of the 1986 Constitution were very clear that all branches of government have co-function and they are co-equal. And they operate under the doctrine of separation of power. Why would Baka want to get a kangaroo and puppet of a speaker who is saying that he's a regime speaker? To do what? Because he wants to steal, he wants to bastardize and circumvent the laws of our country. That's why he wants somebody at that place. Why?
So do you think that if the president was to intervene, he was to intervene since, not now?
It's belated, Samira. It's belated. But you can't intervene when there's a proportion. When the state is going to anarchy, the state is going to degenerating the classes. The country is now is preparing for one of the most dangerous political upheaval in the country. The state is on time bomb. The state is on time bomb. That time Baka coming intervene. Baka president is this very responsible president. We want Baka on this radio several times. That you gotta stop what you're doing here. You gotta stop it. John, we are His Excellency came to this country. He not interfere in the workings of the Supreme Court. He not interfere in the workings of the judiciary. He not interfere in the workings of the executive branch and the legislative branch of government.
But someone who said that's a norm. It's almost like a norm. It's not by constitution. It's not written. It's not by law. But this thing wherein when there is a CDC government, then there is a CDC speaker. So maybe Baka too, he wants a unity party speaker.
No, but the Constitution does not say that you must get unity party speaker. The Constitution does not say so. You have the biggest responsibility on our law. All you have to do is to put your agenda on the table, your rescue agenda, and place it before the Liberian people and be able to implement some of the policies. But to go after civil servants, to go after motorcyclists, to go after people with any position, to go after 500 EPS people, to go after the legislature, to go after the judiciary, and to go after CDC headquarters. Imagine that. You're going after Lexus and going after private jet. What does Baka want? What does Baka want? Who Baka thinks he is? Who is he? Is he bigger than this country? Before Baka, there was Liberia. Baka is not bigger than the Constitution of Liberia. Baka is not bigger than Liberia. Liberia is older than Baka. will leave and Liberia will remain. So we're not going to sit down here for one man to take the country back to civil unrest, and he goes and with his children abroad, and thousands of young people continue to suffer in the state of academic in political institution. This is wrong. This is wrong, Samira. And if care is not taking the Supreme Court, we are watching them very carefully. Every ruling you come out, I mean, you'll be protected, whether for or against, but it should be void of interference. If Bada wants to take this country to the two-party time and the next state, one party state, one party hegemony, where there'll be no legislature, there'll be no judiciary, then the Liberian people are going to exist into April 14, 1979. The people will exist into civil upheaval and civil disobedience. The people will rise and the people will rally. The people will rally and the people will rise and they will take on the street and demand the government to go back to constitutional and democratic order.
Okay.
Enough is enough. You cannot go after motorcyclists, go after CDC party headquarters, go after civil servants, go after private jet, go after leftists, take the judiciary down, take the executive down, and we'll fold our hands. This time around, there'll be a set of Peter Foles, a force of guarantee that Parker will have to remember in history.
Okay, I know that people want to place in their calls, and that the calls will be as many as I can tell you. But let's go on to this issue, and I mean, let's just take about 5 to 6 minutes on it roughly. Then allow people to make their points, because we have concluded like 3 talking points already. So we do this, then we open the phone lines because Liberians want to say something. This issue that has to do with the attack on Edith.
Yeah, so the Congress for Democratic Change, the national chairman of our party categorically through the National Executive Committee wrote a release, and we said that it was not just anti-democratic, it was ruthless, and such action should never happen, not only against Edith Gonglowe. We saw the attack, and we see the attack as attack against a female candidate, and we see it as something that is anti-peace and expecting the peace and security of our fragile democracy. We understand that the vice president, we understand that in his political desperation for power is doing everything possible to impose the man who is at the center of the conflict and crisis in Nima County, Mr. Koga.
Okay.
And so by everything possible, they are using the politics of intimidation and fear and trying to prevent not just Edith Gonglowe, but they are preventing Garrison Yenu, and they are also preventing Mark Brion and the rest of other independent candidates in the process. We think categorically that if that action continues, the government will set the stage to undermine her own governance. I repeat, if that issue continues, it is the government that is going to undermine the governance of the state and our own governance, because this is not going to happen. We have understood from what we witnessed that the Mana Edith Gonglowe, Garrison, and the rest of the people are in what call, they are enjoying comfortable lead. They are in comfortable lead as per what we're seeing from the processes in the camp. I mean, the mobilization of the people in Nima County. But let me say this to you: the people of Nima County are very wise. They are very conscious. That Nima County, that election is a referendum. That's what we said to the people. If the people, I know that they will not settle for political gamble. I know that they will not settle for political gamble. The Union Party has been very disingenuous. Bakari and Mr. Jeremiah Kun, they've been very disingenuous to the people of Nima County. What Nima County did to them, they did not pay back to Nima County. They pay evil to Nima County. They took one of their sons away. President Hubert Johnson, not only that they took their son away, but it went as far as distributing jobs amongst their friends, their relatives, their cronies, their surrogates, and their puppets who they feel they have those poor Negroes who subscribe to their parochial agenda. Now the people of Nima County, the people better, they are angry. So if the people of Nima County are listening, I want to say this to them, that the CDC is in solidarity. They must reject categorically the government candidate, the majority black candidate, Koga, who is at the center of crisis for which today this issue. You don't forget that he was a chairman He brought this conflict. He brought a crisis here. He is imposing himself on the people, and the people are rejecting them. The signals are on the wall. And so if the people of Lima County are comfortable with the way Prince Johnson passed out, they should go and vote Koga. If they are comfortable about the economic condition, you can have a vice president who doesn't care, only employing your cronies and family. Then you can go ahead and but if you are not comfortable, then you have the revolutionary mandate to categorically reject Koga, who is the government candidate. Koga is the reason why you should reject. I mean, what guy, Jeremiah Kun, the bad economic condition in the country, the crisis in the legislature, are the reasons why you should reject Mr. Koga. Because if you put Koga there, he will be an extension of the very conflict at the level of nothing new, nothing strange. Koga coming back.
Okay.
Koga coming back to the legislature to call crisis. You take down you call big crisis at the level of the Senate. That's what he's coming for. It's a division. It's a bad example of democracy. It should be rejected by the conscious people of Lima County.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's about time that we go to the phone lines. It's about time that we do that. Y'all wait, let me announce the numbers, okay? You will ask all of your questions you want to ask and do everything. But just before we go to the phone lines, just the same thing I was talking this morning. Today is the annual presidential media dinner. ALC, the same thing I was talking, I said it here. I said the reason why the president did not appear on Truth yesterday is because the president said I want to have dinner with the people before he appeared. So it will be looking like you will be appropriate to the man. The man said, ask the question here. If I can hear your station, do not ask this question here. So today will be the presidential media dinner. And it's only by invitation. If they invite you, you're a journalist. If they send my invitation, you don't feel disappointed in me. I will go there. When they invite me, I will go there to go and have dinner with the president. Okay, so here is the invitation is here. Today, the dinner will start by 6 and will go up to 9. So before our president now appear on radio station, you got to have dinner with you first. And within that dinner, if you're conscious-minded, if you know what I know, the president and his cronies will tell you what to say. Ask the president a question. So go the other route. Is how our media landscape is about to be under this government. But let's leave that. That will be for another day. I just thought to alert you because I said it this morning. I said information reaching me, and then Executive Marshal just posted it. But let's go on to the issues that were discussed here by having we said in studio. 0779-003-835, 0779-003-835, 0880-907-907. These are the numbers for those of you here in Monrovia. For those of you in the counties, you call us on 0773-419-502. Those of you in the counties, 0773-419-502. And the Lone Star subscribers, you call us on 0555-184711. The females, you call us on 0773-978-564. Let's talk to the first person here this morning. Good morning.
Samara, good morning.
Morning.
This is the voice of Andrews indeed. I'm Andrews Paya, the civil ITC board.
Okay.
Let me commend you and your studio guests. But you see, the former minister is what we call political chicanery. That is why he is on this morning, right? Because all of these things that the former minister said, I had to be real. He served in a government that brutalization was the smear of the Liberian people. Where we saw students were being brutalized. Corruption was the traditional songs in the people ear. Our stimulus package, our multiple exercise, our 60 billions. All of these things went on the carpet. He served in a government where only thoughts were not even having voice. That when these people do their job, the next day we will find a body on Broad Street, other area. He said nothing like that. So what moral right or what moral grounds we have now to come and criticize a more responsible and what we call high level of administrative government that is proceeding well, where we are seeing massive road connectivity in the country.
Okay, thank you. Morning.
Good morning, Samara. Good morning to everybody. This is the voice of PSI Nigerian from Sogme Bishofu.
Okay.
The real issue in the question is, the president during the State of the Nation address recognized Bridget Pong as Chico. He they're doing business with a majority bloc. So how then will he come in to solve the problem when he are taking sides? Is that another form of conflict resolution I'm not saying is what I'm coming to see? That's my question.
Okay, morning.
Samara,
Morning.
thank you for the second segment. This is Hussein Keo.
Okay.
So, I don't know your guess. I wonder if he's the one that was expelled from the University of Liberia. Is that what we said on your show?
My brother, can we go to the issue quickly this morning?
No, I wanted to know your guess. So, moving forward, right? The ordinary old lady sitting before her table this morning want to listen to a guest who will speak according to a level and get an understanding. But he sounded like he more sophisticated, nothing new, nothing old. It's the same economist, falsehood, and misleading the ordinary people. You say about the 60 minutes of research and extension. You cannot outline one policy that you crafted at the 60 minutes. Then you want to come and beat the people without your political talk. It will not work. The people listening to the government.
Oh, he left the line. I think his credit finished. You have to call back or go recharge, yeah? Morning.
Good morning. This is Patrick to me, calling from Ghana.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to know, because we are many, we are citizens, we are plenty, and for all of us to the party quarter, it will not be preferable. My suggestion is, I would like for us to have 0 district office to get our due book, so we can pay our due.
Okay, so it was what he said. He'll answer to that. District office. Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, good morning, my dear sister. How are you doing?
I'm okay. Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm Richard Barish calling you from Stephen Tower this morning at the Double Bridge. My dear sister, it's unfortunate that you use your time this morning on the radio to waste our time listening to a little political taboo that trying to make himself look very relevant in this country.
My brother, I used my time. You were not forced to listen. You were just tuned to another station. So do not talk about my time, please.
For the fact that, let me learn my thought. Musa should not portray himself as one of the most educated person in this country, and that will be using jargons to blackmail people. That's what I'm telling you. Because everything he said this morning is just a chicanery and sycophancy. He said nothing important to him but the Liberian people are listening to him. Are you getting me?
You're alive, my brother.
Yeah, thank you. So I think Musa should take down how he use jargons on the radio station. But there are people that want to hear him perhaps he's saying the right thing, but the way he's presenting himself, I think it's unfortunate. And having with that, I will tell you, your CDC is no better than what Joseph Walker is doing right now. You took correct 6 years to loot this country and take borrow money from out of the international community, pocket it and pay $100 million for your judge here. Today you're coming to use propaganda against the government that is trying to set the country on fire. The Nima country people will not listen to you because your divisive attitude that you brought in the CDC is now something you're trying to carry to Nima country.
Okay, your time is exhausted. Morning.
Good morning, Samaria, and good morning to the people of Franklin County.
Okay.
My name is Tommy Nina Robert Jr. Senior me, and then I do join you from Burma Bridge.
Okay.
Samaria, I think I say thanks to you for inviting having with our honorable men. I think we appreciate him for the expose, for what I said. But then some of all our problems, we want at least the same thing when my colleague said, the previous caller, that not everyone of us to get a chance to go to the party headquarters. They need to at least, after launching it, they need to go to the Bureau District headquarters and then send the mobile money number, because everyone of us will not get mobile money number or the book that some of us will be paying our due, because some of us we're willing to do that. And then we're willing to do that. So we're breaking him. Let him see how best that they can go on his drawing board. All the district headquarters to get the book there or the mobile money number that will be sending our due to. Thank you for your appointment time.
Okay, thank you. Continue playing the cash giveaway. Keep dialing *799*90#. *799*90#. Play with $200 Liberian dollars and stand a chance to win yourself $10,000 Liberian dollars or $50,000. Play more than one time. I'm urging you. The contest line 0773419502 0555 184711. Let's talk to people out of Monrovia. Morning. Morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning. Your name is where do you join us from, sir?
Let me say good morning to you, Samira. My name is Arvin Dana, and I call from the UN draft.
They line you calling for that?
Samira, let me first appreciate all my talk for pumping back into all our voice.
I know Avin Wood. They line you calling for that the people for the county.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning, Sister Samira.
Morning. I know it.
Anyway, my family calling from Picana Grand Pastor County, one of Bon County fan here.
Let's hear you from Karimbasa.
Many thanks to our comrade and senior comrade, Abby Wisher. My man, you make my day, my brother. Look, Samura, thank you for asking Abby Wisher to come and clear the doubt of this poor government, this government that pay the Liberian people that are not doing anything better for the Liberian people. We are disappointed that we have a few government that on salary that backing this government. We are disappointed in them. Because the company is supporting this government for the wrong thing they're doing to the citizen. What someone is telling them what is going on in this country, they do not want to listen to it. We are disappointed in them. And we will move and we'll not stop. We'll continue moving, we'll not stop. From Abby, we say thank you. We're there for you. Thank you.
Morning. Good morning.
Morning, Samira.
Morning. If you're calling you waste it now, we'll tell another person. Or
Sorry, April, are you about to move out from Banga TVK?
how is Banga this morning?
Thanks to Comrade we said this morning. My call to the speaker this morning, Speaker Fonati Kofa, is not to take President Pwaga serious. Because President Pwaga is not a serious man person. You have already recognized your speaker that you are working with. Just towards to the ruling because Pwaga is seeing his disgrace. He's seen his disgrace of Prince Kamumwe who stood in Bongati and recognized the majority bloc and the majority bloc speaker and the speaker proper in the country. He's seen those people being sanctioned by the American government and now he's calling for dialogue. It's too late for dialogue. And we said, do not listen to those people who always will get bad because people are discussing the guilt or unity party. Continue your advocacy. Continue in the country. People who are questioning your education, they have not education as compared to you. Do not imagine.
Okay, let's talk to a person from Monrovia. Morning.
Samira, good morning.
Wema Williams, let's have you.
Yeah, Samira, let me say good morning to Alan we said and good morning to CEO who is now with you this morning. Samira, let me say thanks to having Wizard this morning. I listened to it attentively. But my suggestion to having Wizard is that after the launch on tomorrow or the day after, I will ask the party to decentralize the registration. Because there are some people, like for me, I'm a capital, I go around people and I explaining to them about the party, about this process. But sometimes somebody will ask me, oh, I'm working, but why they can't bring it to our district headquarters? So I will ask the party to, for every district, their headquarters, they should open or area there are people, after work or like weekend, you can just pass there and go and do your process. I think it will be okay then for people to leave away district 17 to the headquarters, district 1 to the headquarters, it will be like long distance.
Okay.
So I will ask the party for that. Thank you for the time and thank you for the program this morning.
Grandma Williams, you will get your talk on some of the things. Grandma Williams, very quiet this morning. Morning.
Good morning, Samara.
Morning. Where do you join us from? Your name?
My name is Roger Chia calling from Grandfather Biganaka today.
Okay.
The first thing, Mr. Adi, do you tell me, I hope that you reach in battle if you want to be in Monterrey begging law. Then the next issue, Mr. President, unprepared president we get. He's the cause of the problem in this country. He took 1 year, 4 months to loot the entire country. And somebody saying, we are loot the country for 10 years. I think they got it. They are not reading. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We are still in the counters. Morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Walk away from your monitor.
Yes, I'm due.
Okay, let's hear you.
Good morning, sir. And let me say good morning to Abby. May remain Emmanuel Papayika, Mr. Popo, and I'm the chairman for the movement to defend the legacy of President Chairman. We are in Bon County. And let me appreciate this morning and make my day. Look, let me come to the due payment process. I think it's just a recommendation or apology to them that for the rural part of Liberia, everyone was division, we are not able to come to Raro at the party to do that. So what we ask them to do that, then the GCC the process that everybody will be part and parcel of the process. Then quickly, let me come to the vehicle process of the current president. You know, there's not something that inhaling. We are aware from the very first time the president came to power during the inauguration. That don't tell the president we are. He doesn't believe and he won the election or he came to the presidency unprepared and unbalanced. Look, as a president, elected president during the inauguration, for Palestine to move you and put a lot of right jacket for you, they call the bullet through that brought Israel to the country that make the president free. That was the first thing. So the people, they are not yet telling people they are president that they brought to power. That was the same family mean or thing to point in. They remove our president, but I have to be careful at the end result of putting certain things that you're not the other money.
Okay, thank you. That's all the time. I'm begging you. If you call, we will give you 30 seconds. What you want to say in 30 seconds, because the calls, there are many. I know that we will not take all of the calls, definitely, but let's take as many calls as we can take. So if you call, we give you 30 seconds. After the 30 seconds, if you cannot say what you want to say in the 30 seconds, we cut you off, okay? Because we don't have much time. Keep playing the cash giveaway. Star 79 and star 90 hash. Play with 200 and win some money. Morning,
Samara.
I need to talk back from Banga.
Yeah, ma.
Go ahead.
Thank you for the show this morning. I just want to tell your studio guest thank you. You know, he made my day. You know what, people coming out to buy this government, it really make me laugh. You see the corruption in the people. They just have people they walking. You can see them walking corruption dropping from their body. They come here to say that job we are stealing money. Then your government when you lie, you say that for the 2 year experience, the experience they probably know is just city experience. And some people in the Asia, they probably some people can be all you see the school working. But they probably weekend then I'm following although now when he walking, you see all there 130 year old man. They when they can live that life, I can bring problem to them. My brother CDC is strong, even bone country here. You want to come all will be our view. They people they are liars. Thank you for the show this morning.
Okay, thank you. I need to buy this person. Yeah, morning.
Yes, good morning.
Morning. Let's hear you. Your name and where are you joining us from?
I'm JT Toby calling from Kawa.
Please put some strength in your voice. You are not calling on Liberia on a Monrovia number either. But let's hear you.
I'm JP Toby calling from Kawa.
Let's hear you.
Okay, I'm only want to speak to Mr. We said that those that were the leader before, they should do restructuring because they are those that led into this. So let them do restructuring before they start carrying the things around. Before they pour in another mess.
Thank you. Let's come to Monrovia. Morning.
Yes. Good morning, madam.
Morning.
Yeah. Yeah. Concerning the speaker.
So you're not calling your name and tell us where you're joining us from first?
Peter AEB Junior calling from McDonald Street.
Okay.
Concerning the speaker process, they told me I've been long time in Liberia, I've been issued out. Everybody aware. Why yesterday the court will not take the ruling there before president coming into industry and say there's a short party who want to go on. We of course not being the issue of the Liberian people.
Okay.
So now the CDC registration, I think it will be better to administrate because somehow we don't get it done due to so many things. So it will be easy for us to no more.
Okay.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you. This is Good Morning Liberia. My name is Samira One Line. Morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
I'm Johnson. I'm calling from Banga Bone County.
Okay.
Yeah, with the.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, with the issue of the Nima by-election, you know, Gome, who are just fully saying that we know that Gome will not be the next senator.
The mega spread down.
The issue is that we are either going to be the next senator for Nima County. Gome, he struck for Nima, but saying if I said that he belongs to woman. Why is it belong to woman? So the chair is not going to belong to the belong to the people. So that chair is need to be occupied by any other person, be a man. So with the issue of CDC, you know, we are willing to pay our bill, but it should be digital across the country. It cannot be done in Motorado.
Thank you. Morning. Morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning. We will take 2 more calls. They will call it a day for the call segment. Morning.
Yeah, my name is Johnson, calling from Bangapong County.
Let's hear you from Banga.
Yeah, when it comes in now of the president going to meet the legislature, the Supreme Court, when you have been waiting for, we told the people that the particular president is the one who behind the particular removal of Nadikova. But for him to use the water, the power to remove Nadikova, you don't want to do it. That's how you start doing what? The particular bringing lawmakers in so that they can create more country, that they can see more money from the country. Thank you.
Thank you. Morning. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Jojo.
Move away from your radio, Jojo.
Okay.
Okay, let's hear
Hello?
you. Yes, go ahead.
This fellow they call Arvin that you have there insulting, cursing the president. I want to say to him that Wakai said we pay the money that we're owing the world, $4.9 billion. Which president came to power that never stole, that never have not stolen money? Ellen? Where? What is he insulting the president like that for? The old man can burn him. He has no respect for anything. He's not even talking legally. That was wrong.
Okay, thank you, Jojo. This person, morning. Look, I mean, look. No, please. Morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Understand is that this morning.
You say why your name again, my brother?
Charity Wizard calling from Grand Bato County.
Okay.
Yes, you understand is that when the people came to power, they started all say Georgia was stealing money, and even according to the worker himself, during the inauguration time, he said the country resources are going by the government, so we will be moving. Then he are using the taxpayer money just to say that is pocket money or that the money is from free time. No. But thank you very much. You are made my day.
Okay, too many persons still have been here today. Morning. So I am making your day too. All right.
Good morning.
Morning, morning.
Samira.
Yes, let's hear you.
I'm calling from Grandpa County.
Okay.
Samira, the people did not rescue themselves. The citizen of Liberia rescuing Waka and his people. It is very clear. You come in Grand Basin County. You come in Grand Basin, you cry. We are the citizens, we are crying here. The people sold our county machine. We all gave you no account of that machine. Waka. Okay. We accuse Waka.
Okay.
Minister, President Waka, Minister.
Thank you. Morning.
Good morning.
Do it quickly. Your name and where do you join us from? Quickly.
I don't want to tell our partner is that please the chief payment is like three people or more although the partner know your so one sure the for that we are still sending back to protect the partner the chief payment we are sending back to pay then the content so we can pay our due. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We will take the last person. Please do not call. Please. This is the last call we are taking. We will not take everybody calls like we can always say. So y'all stop calling, please. This is the last person. Morning.
Good morning, Samira.
Morning.
Yes, Samira, this is John T. Yafaulu. I call from Bangapong County.
It's been a long time, Yafaulu. I said it's been a while. Oh, his network is really bad.
Good morning.
Yes, I said it's been a while. Go ahead. You see, hey, The man that way he got love, but he can't make it. Okay, so let's go. Let's go quickly. Alvin, you listened to the callers. What do you have to say? You want to address some of the things that some people said, some of the questions that will be asked, and also give your parting comment so that we'll call it a day as we have just 2 minutes to our closing time.
Thank you, Samira, for beautifully, and I have no doubted your ability to do due diligence and to dispense justice to the media this morning. And let me appreciate you very much for the professionalism you brought to the national discourse. If you listen to the callers, majority of the callers have supported all what we've said here. So I don't want to dignify the turning rescue charlatans and political zombies who are low-profile mammons parading and gallivanting from the crumbs that fall from their gangster bosses. I'm concerned about their masters, their slave masters, and now the puppeteers. On the issues about the due payment,
these people too having our followers too.
No, I mean.
So you know you don't want to. Yeah, I mean.
Imagine somebody. Yeah. Imagine.
You keep laughing. I'm seriously. Imagine, so they are all Liberians.
So when it comes to the discourse, we reciprocate that. When you come with arrogance.
The people say that you shouldn't be talking.
No,
the people words there. They want to respect your words. Yeah, blah blah blah.
I'm not responsible.
But yeah, don't refer to them as puppets.
No, I'm not responsible for that. When somebody took to your radio, for example, and they know very well that I have a bachelor degree in agriculture, and somebody still saying that, and you want me to give them honey and give them milk and give them extra, I'm not. You can't do that. You know, that's the.
I mean, the next time you come here, you'll still get people that I will call you.
Yeah,
if people are not followers,
if you call, I don't want all to spend time on them because they are inconsequential, they're immaterial to the process. I don't want us to waste my time. I see where people call here, they raise concerns. I want to address those concerns. Yeah.
Let's go very quickly. We it's 10 o'clock. Let's move quickly.
Yeah. You calling Daryl Dillon your mentor, your teacher, your Lord, your God, your Savior. The men are in school. The men are in school. The men are getting 1 degree. Having we said going back to LU and grab you there. You calling somebody your Lord, your teacher, your mentor, your Savior, your leader. Daryl Dillon. Bwaga, what you talking about? Bwaga, as I speak to you, I challenge anybody from the party. Bwaga want to get 1 BSc. Yes. Who tells you Bwaga get BSc? Who don't want BSc? Bwaga not go to.
Issue.
Don't brag about education. Your vice president Jeremiah Gunhu you can read a 15 sentence. I don't want to.
The man wrote you before.
I'm saying that's just.
Jeremiah wrote you before.
All the people talking about not go to school. All the people calling young Lican. All the people talking about they not go to school. All the people don't go to school.
Okay, so let's go. Let's go very quickly.
So now on the issues about the due payment process. Well, I'd like to appreciate all our callers across Montserrat and its environs, particularly in the various counties. The April 12 is we encouraging our partisans to come outside April 12 because April 12 is just for the launch. Okay. So so there'll be a decentralization process of all of our counties. They'll be mobilized. Each county will have its own due payment process with the county structure and the primary leaders. So what will be happening at the party's headquarters April 12 will be about the kick-off to just launch the process and create awareness so that you get, when somebody tell you, say, pay due, you know that the party headquarters and the National Executive Committee has approved that there is a due payment process and exercise that is going on. So the purpose is about awareness, it's about kick-off, it's about launch. So we start April 12. By the time we done with April 12, which is this coming Saturday at the party headquarters, then we move to the districts, then we move to the county. It is important to come because we think that our political leader will be there. Our political leader will be there. The Congress for Democratic Change political leader, yes, President George Mena, we come and celebrate as well because after the due payment, there will be who call a social El Clasico, Jamboree or Fiesta. I'll continue to see those things because I'm not responsible for their grammatical misfortune. There will be celebration there. So after the process...
Okay, somebody commented on the live video and they said, Avi is the juju man for United Party.
Yeah.
I don't want to believe that though. All of the Chicano be using his video. You can say you juju man.
Three of those juveniles from the Turning Rescue Mission, they call and everybody is in juvenile and Karika, how do you call it?
Chicano. You can use all of that Chicano.
Then one man called himself Jojo. So I want to conclude by saying to you, Samira, that our political leader will be Osa. Bakugbe be Osa. So it's going to be a very colorful moment, and it will provide awareness for the program on the 12th. The chairman of our party, Comrade Jenga Ko, will be there, and the entire due payment committee will be there, will be represented adequately. So after that process will be decentralized. Now, in my information to you, to all journalists that are following, when Baga took over, the first thing Baga saw do was to call you for dinner. Baga buy a lesser and buy a private jet and build condominium and build mansion. He and government officials, they are still on the industrial skill. Don't waste your time. Do not eat from Baga. Anything you take from Baga is a devil offer, is a devil gift. Prince Johnson ate from Baga, you know what happened? I don't want to warn you. Nobody must eat from Baga. In fact, if they will call you to go to what we call dinner, when Bagas are having dinner in the country, if they call for dinner, let there be an open dinner. Let there be an open dinner. And so, in my conclusion to the next item in Nima Kante, we say to you, Koga is a representation of all the bad things happening in the country. The bad things that happen in the country. The people in Nima Kante listening, that Koga and government beginning under that bring people. So if you elect Koga, you warning Joseph Numa Bwaka and by extension Jeremiah Kun for the wickedness happening in Nima Kante. And if you comfortable with the death of Prince Johnson, you will elect Koga. He will go after the United Party Kennedy. So he's a bad representation in him for the people of Nima Kante, and they must categorically reject Koga because if you're not happy, if you're not comfortable with the way Prince Johnson died, if you're happy, then you can go and gamble Nima Kante. And when Koga returns to the Senate, Koga will be worse than what he did in the House of Representatives. So I want to say this to you, that Mr. Kofa, the Speaker Kofa, Fonadi Kofa, we want to say that categorically here. Do not do business with Mr. Bwakai. The law is on your side. The law is the law. But when the court rules in the interest of the law, we will proceed. We will proceed at the Capitol building and we show that you are coronated and you are being given the space to function as the legitimate speaker, the legal speaker constitutionally, and you will be able to ensure that you run the state affairs of the House of Representatives. So do not bow down to pressure. To the Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia, we want to say to you clearly here that Mr. Bwaka must not interfere in your ruling. He must not call you as he called in the journalist. You have never respected you guys before. You rule in the LTA case. He challenged you. He disgraced you. He embarrassed you. He called your budget. He's a wicked old man who taking everything for himself. And that's what we're saying to you. Enough is enough. Let us do the right thing. The law is the law. Thank you ever so much, Samira, for the time. I appreciate you ever so much. Okay. We have a very marathon discussion, and it was something that was breathtaking. It was welcoming. I admire the discourse. I admire your professionalism, and the reaction says a lot. Thanks to our callers and to our listeners and our participants across the landscape.
Okay, thank you. You just listened to Abby Wilson from the CDC. I always say that when I say Abby, I will put the CDC behind it. But this is how we say goodbye to you on Good Morning Liberia. It has been a very, very much interesting conversation here. So those of you who missed it, 7 p.m. 7 p.m. today will be the repeat. So you can take your time up and listen. Let me say thanks to all of you. Let me say goodbye to all of you. I heard some of you say Happy Mayor Day. Me who can say that every day. You're telling me say I'm Mayor Day. I will invite the man. You're telling me say I'm Mayor Day. No. Okay. So let me say goodbye to all of you. Have a very, very, very much good weekend as I will be here on tomorrow morning. Not tomorrow, but Monday morning with the program Good Morning Liberia. In fact, tomorrow is a holiday, but you have have Good Morning Liberia team here. The Friday team, they will be here tomorrow morning to carry on the show. See you on Monday morning. I remain Samira One Line. Bye-bye.